Oh, hold on. Oh, gosh, get over here. Get over here. Okay, Scorpion, relax. Relax. Good morning. Oh, gosh. I think we're ready to go. I think we're moving and we're grooving. Good morning. It's good to see you. My name is Wettis Willius. We are, hold on. Does that, there? Uh-oh. It's not working. Oh, no, I do not know what to do. Stand by. Uno. Dos. Why is this? Okay, dude. I think we're rocking. Good morning. Oh my gosh, good morning. Happy Tuesday. Today's Tuesday? Say happy Wednesday. Good morning, it's good to see you. My name is Wet Willie. We go live all the time. We learn how to buy assets that produce profit. If you've never been here before, good morning, good to see you. We're gonna get after it live right now and walk through a lot of this game. Is the internet acting weird? Why does it look so mid, bruh? Huh, I don't know. But we're gonna get into asset acquisition. I'm gonna walk you through several of these things and we'll learn how to play the game of getting assets that produce the profit. Okay, cool. I think we're good. I think we're Gucci. I think we're ready to rock. I'm gonna go through several different things on asset acquisition today. We're gonna walk through how to buy assets that produce profit, all the good stuff. I don't know why we've got so interesting. I wonder what's cracking on that. Huh. It looks like there's glitch on. Let me try it down here. Stand by. Boop. Good morning. Good morning. I'm having like some technical difficulty on my side, but I think we're going to be good to go if I can. That one. Let's stop here, and then we'll go over here. Bink. Is that better? Oh. Good morning. I think that's better. Okay, all right. I can see it better. So anyway, if you're new here, my name is Will. I go live all the time. We learn how to buy assets that produce profit. We're going to walk through a lot of this game live right now. So if you want to hang out with us, good morning. You're in the right spot. If you have never been here before, we're going to walk through the process of how we go out there and get assets that cash flow. Let me find my big pencil. It seems like I can't get. There we are. If you can hear me okay, is my microphone working? Will you type Y in the chat for yes? Just type Y in the chat for yes if you can hear my microphone. I want to make sure it's rocking, it's rolling, and everything's working cool. Yes, let's go! Oh my gosh, happy hump day. Good morning, Devin. Good morning, Renee. We got some assets to get into today. Happy hump day. Today's the day of the camel. Renee, we got to get foreclosures. We got to take the cash that you got, go look at some auctions. I invited myself to Michigan to go spend time with Renee to look at some assets, and she said, please don't enter the state of Michigan. I don't know what that's about, but anyway, we'll work on something. Good morning, Pavandeep, let's go! Pavandeep, we got to get some AI stuff rocking for you. I have a feeling. Good morning. So good to see you. If you haven't been here, we've got a lot of ground to cover today. We're gonna stack some blocks. We're gonna put some game plans together. I'm gonna show you how we play this game. If you've never done this, then good morning. It's good to see you. So we're gonna get after it. The name of the game does not change. It's the same principle, the same process all the time. We take our cash, we stash our cash, we get our cash ready. Our cash, while stacking, we then focus our attention on assets. Those assets go out there and produce. Oh my gosh. Renee, is that a true story or not? True story. I told Renee, hey, I'm on my way. I got a ticket to Michigan. I'm gonna come up there. Let's go look at some auctions. She was like, well, hold on. Wait a minute. Time out. Let's think about this. I was like, excuse me? She's like, I got some cop friends. I'm like, whoa, it's escalated, out of control. Anyway, not going to Michigan in conclusion because I have to find some assets here and she won't let me up there. We're gonna focus on assets. Assets are things that produce profit. This can be, I don't know, a rental property. It can be a self-storage facility. It can be a laundromat. It can be a car wash. It can be whatever you're into. We find assets that produce profit. When the assets produce profit, we acquire them. Then it kicks off the profit, fills the bucket back up. Come over here. Let me walk you through a couple of different things. This is not rocket science. We can do this together. Good morning. Good morning. If you're new here, let me know in the comments where you're tuning in from. We got a little bit of Michigan in here. We got a little bit of Texas in here. Maybe Virginia if we're feeling funky. Where are you tuning in from? Car wash, self-storage. Let's go, JD. Good morning. We're going to get into some assets, but let me know where you're tuning in from, what state you're in. Indiana. Good morning, Indiana. Good morning, New Jersey. We're going to go through a lot of this. I want to teach you the process. Texas, let's go. New York. Good morning. Good morning. Virginia. Come on, Virginia. Good morning. Good morning, Virginia. So here's the game. We buy assets. Those assets produce passive income. This doesn't change. There's many things that will distract you in life. You have to have a principle that you can stand on. When it comes to getting financially free, this is the principle. We buy assets. Those assets produce passive income. Toronto, passive income when greater than or equal to your expenses, you're financially free. So if Renee Miller, if her expenses are $5,000 a month to cover her rent and her mortgage and her groceries and utilities and car payments and all the stuff that Renee has bills on, if she goes out there and she buys an asset like a rental property, like a car wash, like a laundromat, like a self-storage, if that asset gives her $1,000 a month in profit, in the comments below, let me know, how many assets does she need until she's free? How many? Good morning. Yes, I want to retire. How you do it without waiting until you're 150 years old is this. Renee 5 Guys Miller, 5 Assets Miller. That's what I'm talking about. Everybody in the chat, type 5. I want you to understand this concept thoroughly before we move on. How many assets does Renee need until she's financially free? 5. Watching from Ghana? Is that what that says? Good morning. Good morning. You are 5 assets away from freedom. Understand the principle. Instead of asking yourself the question, how many years until I can retire, we ask ourselves the question, how many assets must I acquire? This is the game. And we're going to get deeper into that game right now. If you're new here, my name is Will. I go live all the time, and I teach you how we buy assets that produce profit. If you want to hang out with us, just tap on the follow button somewhere up here. We're going to dive into this. We're going to go through many different assets. I'm going to teach you a lot of this behind the scenes. Good morning. Good morning. Oh my gosh. We got a bunch of ground to cover. And not much time to do it. Not a whole lot. This is the game. Instead of waiting until you're 150 years old to buy assets, to get financially free with a retirement plan, we buy assets at Cashflow. So let me walk you through a couple of the concepts. Let me teach this to you just really quickly, high level. If you're doing any kind of retirement planning, any kind of 401k, IRA, Roth IRA, 403b, brokerage accounts, dividend stocks, high growth stocks, income stocks, whatever, I'm only 100. Plenty of time, none to waste. Here's the problem. If you follow retirement planning doesn't work. Let's take a look at the median. Average 65-year-old retirement account. TSP, yes, all of the above. Really quick, there's only 3 variables to financial planning. Everybody type 3 in the comments. Before I get to the stats, let's understand something. Type 3 in the chat. It doesn't matter the thing that you pick. It's all the same game. 3. Wait, Renee, what, 3 guys, 5 guys? You got 8 guys now. So all retirement planning is the same. Doesn't matter the plan you pick. It doesn't matter how smart your financial advisor is. It doesn't matter how many degrees your financial advisor has on the wall, how many PhDs they have in advanced mathematics. It's all the same thing. You take your money. This is you. You take your money. So variable number 1 of every retirement strategy, of every investing strategy, is you take your money and then you stash that cash. You're going to chase an interest rate. Morning. Good morning, Jason. We're talking about why retirement planning doesn't work. If you're new here and you want to hang out with us, just tap on the follow button somewhere up here. So you take your money and you save and invest. This is a portion of everything that you earn from your paycheck, from your business, from your job, whatever you got going on. You're taking some of that money and you're investing it in what? In whatever. Everybody and their mama has a different philosophy about what you should invest in. The conclusion of that investment philosophy or thesis is the interest rate that you earn. So that's variable number 2. 24 hours late. Hey, good morning. Good morning. Hi, that's none of your business. None of your business. Good morning. I was on a secret mission yesterday. Don't tell Devin, okay? Don't tell Devin. Shh. Yeah, crypto, whatever your philosophy is, everybody's got a different philosophy. The conclusion is the interest rate that you return. It is what it is. But here's the problem. Let's go on this just a little deep. If here, when I'm chasing an interest rate, and I start investing, good morning, El Santi. Good morning, the Jester. If I start investing in Microsoft, which is doing great right now, but what if I only get an 8% rate of return? Or I invest in the Googs or the Tessies or the whatever. I invest in a thing, a technology ETF. If I get an 8% rate of return, and then I look at the math, and I go, wait a minute, I'm going to have to be 94 years old when I retire. Can I call Mr. Microsoft on the phone and say, Mr. Microsoft, 8% ain't going to get her done. I'm going to need 20%. Yes or no? What's Mr. Microsoft? Is he going to say yes, no problem, I'll turn it up? Or no? Let me know. Mr. Microsoft, this 8%, I need 20. What's he, number cannot be completed as dialed. Speaking of Microsoft, man, she was all about, I got to get out of this job. Now she's like, well, the stock price is going up, Will. They do have free snacks. What are we talking about? What's Mr. Microsoft going to say to me? I got an 8% rate of return. I need 20 to retire young. I need 25. What are they going to say? Yes, no problem. We'll take care of that. Or no. Type Y for chat. Type Y in the chat for yes. Type N in the chat for no. We're understanding a fundamental problem with retirement planning. Y for yes, N for no. Jason says no. The Jester says no. JD says no. Renee Five Guys Miller says, where's the men at? What? What are you talking about? No, of course not. They're not going to increase the interest rate on the investors. They can't deliver that to you. So what does this mean? If I can't control the interest rate that I get in my retirement account, I don't know when I'm going to be able to retire. Can't do anything about it. I have no idea my date of retirement. I hope that everything works out. Retirement planning involves an element of hope, and hope is not a strategy. I'm going to show you what we do differently, but that's not even the worst part. The worst part is the third variable. Everybody type T in the chat. Type T in the chat. Don't worry, it gets worse. With traditional retirement planning, it always gets worse. What? What's going on? Good morning. If you're new here, my name is Wet Willie. We go live all the time. We learn how to buy assets at Cashflow. If you want to hang out with us every day, come up here and tap on the follow button. No eraser on that pencil. We don't need an eraser, baby, because we make no mistakes. Good morning. Here's the problem. Everybody type T in the chat. T in the chat. Let's go. The third variable of the three variables of retirement planning is T. Good morning, Paul. T stands for time. Did someone say pencil? Oh my gosh, I can't even pull it out anymore. So much distraction, Sarah. So you take your money, traditional retirement planning, the reason it doesn't work is you take your money and you chase an interest rate. That interest rate, everybody and their mama's got a different philosophy about what you should invest in. It's going to return some type of interest. But the problem is compound interest in money does nothing without time. In order for compound interest to compound, you need time. So you take your money, you take your money, you take your money, you stash it, you grow it, you grow it, you grow it, and eventually, hopefully, you've got enough money. But the problem is you've traded your life for this financial goal. How many of you feel like there's not a whole lot of time left for you to get to your financial goal? Type Y for yes, type N for no. How many of you feel like it's already past when you wanted to stop working? Type Y for yes, type N for no. What? I need that time, baby. If time is your most valuable asset, why do you have an investment philosophy that requires your entire life to get to your financial goal? You believe time is your most valuable asset? When are you going to begin acting like it? Oh, you can't say that. I'm sorry. Good morning. I'm sorry. Good morning. So you take your money, you chase an interest rate, you wait, you wait, you wait. One day you wake up and you're old and you go, I can retire. Doesn't make any sense. Let me show you how foolish this is, respectfully. I said respectfully. So let's say that you start taking your money and you start saving and investing at age 25. And you save and invest, 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 and you save and invest. And now you're 65 years old. In the comments, let me know, how many years did I contribute to this game? If I start saving and investing my money at age 25 and I retire at 65, how many years did I contribute to this philosophy, to this idea? How much of my life did I contribute to retirement planning? Show us how to change this. I'm going to show you the next step. We just make one change. Not 1,000 changes, just one. For D, how many years did you put in? You put in 40 years of your life to this idea, save and invest, save and invest, save and invest, save and invest. Then you retire at age 65. So now what is your reward? It's not just what you put in, it's what do you get out. So you retire at 65, life expectancy for men is 78. How many years do I get in retirement before my funeral? Let me know in the comments. How many years do I get in retirement before my funeral? 13-ish. Is it 13, Jason? Jason, is it 13? Or is it 11 years in retirement and 2 years in hospice care? What is hospice care? It's when they put a diaper on you and give you good oxygen. So you're comfortable on your exit from this planet. What? Huh? Is this a good trade or a bad trade? Type G for good. Type B for bad. Boo. Boo. You give 40 years of your best life for 13 years on the decline. This is when you get to see your kids. Yes, they're around. This is when you don't get to see your kids because they've got their own life to live now. You don't get to see your kids because you're busy working for the money. Then you take the money and you save. Sorry, kids, I'm too busy. I've got to go to work. Sorry, kids, I'm busy right now. I can't hang out with you. Maybe one day in the future. The one day in the future comes, you're in retirement, they have to live their own life, and they repeat the same thing that you did. They tell their children, sorry, I'm too busy to hang out with you because daddy and mommy have to go to work, and you have to go to school. And I'll get to see you when we have dinner tonight to put you to bed, and we'll repeat the same process over and over again for 18 years. And then you go to school, and then you go to work, and then you repeat the process with your kids, and so on and so forth, and we repeat this cycle. Oh! Ah! That's retirement planning. Isn't that crazy? Is that wild? So what happens, like really quick, pop quiz. What happens if you do nothing different? You're teaching your kids to do what you're doing. They're going to follow your example because your example is so loud, they don't hear what you're saying. They're going to repeat the same cycle over and over again until somebody wakes up and realizes they have to break the cycle. Who's going to be the person that breaks the cycle? Everybody in the chat, if you're bold enough, say me. Who's going to be the person to break the cycle? And then I'll show you the one thing we do to break the cycle. Isn't that interesting? You can play this song by Harry Chapin. It's called Cats in the Cradle. That's a good start. Me, Dovetail Group, me, let's go Maine. Good morning, Maine. Maine, what's the temperature up there this morning? Me. Here's how you break the cycle. This is not complicated. You ready? The one change that we make. The entire purpose of retirement planning is to produce income that doesn't require your time. 74 degrees in Maine. How dare you? I love you, but also how dare you? Good morning, my name is Will. I'm in Texas. If you want to hang out with us every day and learn how to buy assets at Cashflow, come up here and tap on the follow button somewhere. I go live all the time and we teach. So here's the one change. If I understand, okay, what is the actual purpose? What is the actual goal of retirement planning? It's just to replace your income and disconnect your time. That's it. 68 in Ohio. Okay, this is going to get very violent in here if y'all don't stop it. 68 degrees. Oh! Oh my gosh. You ready? Check this out. Once we understand, number one, properly get into a goal is defining what the goal is. So the definition of our goal to get financial freedom is to replace our income and disconnect time. So my time is not required to generate income. That's 72 Cape Cod. I'm telling you, I'm this close. I'm this close. How dare you? How dare you? 100% humidities. Hey, how many 69 here? Renee, I see what you did there. Nice. If I understand the one goal is to get income and disconnect my time, then I focus only on that goal. So instead of me taking my time, trading age 25 to age 65, 40 years of my life to get to a financial goal, here's the one change we make. When I understand, 60 in San Fran, 76, lots of humidity, 76 in Philly. Oh my gosh. Here's it is. We buy assets. Everybody type A in the chat. Type A in the comments. What is an asset? An asset is something that produces income that doesn't require us to be there. Let me give you some examples. And then we'll brainstorm together. Hey, love me some pie. It's delicious. Once it hits the lips, man. So let's define assets. An asset is something that produces income that doesn't require my time. So real estate is one example. But in the comments, let's brainstorm together. What are other examples? Good morning, Andrew. What are other examples of assets, things that produce income that don't require us to be there? What's another example? Assets are things that produce income. I could buy laundromat, laundry, car wash, golf simulator. How many of you want to get into self-storage? Type S in the chat for storage. Rentals, storage building, storage, vending, Dovetail Group. We got to make it happen. ATMs, all kinds of stuff. Trella, good morning, Trella. Everything. Devin wants it all. She wants it all. That's what I hear about her. Give it to me, baby. I want all the assets. Campground, ATMs, ice vending machines. Good morning, Dean. So those are examples of assets. An asset, by definition, is something that produces income that doesn't require me to be there. So we can buy any of these things and all the things we didn't list. But in the beginning, it's just me and my job and my income, or my business and my income. And I take a portion of that income and I save and stash the cash while I focus my attention on assets so I can learn. I request financials. I review the deals. I see if it cash flows. I'm gaining skill set. I'm overcoming fear by practicing in virtual reality. If I make a mistake, I just reset the game. I don't have to lose my money. While all of that is happening, gaining my skill set, I'm still stacking my cash and saving my cash. That's one stream of income. Then I finally find an asset that produces profit. I take my money and I buy the asset. In the comments, let me know, how many streams of income do I have now? How many streams of income do I have? I started with me and my job, but how many income streams do I have now? How many green streams of income do you see on the screen? What's 1 plus 1? We got some people in here that went to public education in Michigan. So what's 1 plus 1? Let's slow it down. Dos. I've got 2 streams of income. How much faster do you get somewhere if you're traveling twice the speed? Lisa Marie, good morning, San Antonio, Texas. How much faster do you get somewhere if you double your speed? Instead of doing 35 miles an hour, you're doing 70 miles an hour. I almost said 40. Texas public education, okay? 35 times 2 is 40. What? Twice as fast. If you double your rate of speed, you get to your destination in half the time. Huh? Huh? That's what I get for talking trash. So I get my money ready and I stack my cash. When my cash is ready, I buy an asset. I find an asset that produces profit and I buy that. And I stack my cash and stack my... What about California education? 1 plus 1 equals 4. 1 plus 1 equals taxes. Taxes, raises taxes. That's the conclusion in California. So then I take that money and I do it again. And again, and again. So let's just get inventory really quick. Let's set the foundation for everything we're going to talk about today. Good morning, by the way. If you're new here, let me know in the chat where you're tuning in from. What part of the world are you in? My name is Wet Willie. I'm in Texas. We got Maine, we got California, we got Michigan, we got Virginia, unfortunately. We got a lot of people in here. Whatever you want it to be, a good CPA. Yeah, get you some tax savings, baby. 100%. Massachusetts, Texas. Good morning, 50 shots. Texas, Tennessee, North Carolina. Good morning. Absolutely. Devin, Georgia. Good morning, Georgia. So now let's take 2 examples. Person A and person B. Whoa, whoa, ease up on California. I know, you're soft out there. You can't handle too much. I'll ease up. We'll go somewhere else. Good morning. Good morning, California. Hey, easy, easy. We have no way to defend ourselves out here, okay? Our laws are written in a way that we can't defend ourselves. Okay, all right, I'll leave you alone. Who do you think is more likely to get to their financial destination? The person with retirement planning, they've got 1 stream of income saving and stacking their cash versus 1 goal, or the person with 4 assets? If you think 1, type 1. If you think 5, type 5. Who is more likely to get to their financial destination? The person with 5 streams of income or the person with 1? 4 assets plus them, that's 5 streams of income, type 5. Or just their 1 job, 1 business, they're taking the cash. Who's more likely to get to their goal? Once you see it, you can't unsee it. This is the name of the game. 5, instead of waiting until you're old to retire. And what is retirement? It's income shows up whether you put in time or not. That's it. Retirement planning is all about income replacement. Replacing your income without requiring your time. Well, if that's the goal, we just focus on that now. Can I give you an example of how you accelerate this? Type Y for yes, type in for no. I'll give you an actual case study. One of our passive income club members, Shelly, lives in South Carolina, Charleston. Charleston's beautiful, by the way. She's accelerating right now, stacking assets. Amen. Show me those assets, Sarah. We're stacking them, baby. And I'm going to show you the math on it. Okay, so here's what Shelly did. What's the best low-risk asset? That's the question. That is a question. I don't know if that's the question. What are the skills that I need to learn so that I know where the risk lies in any asset? That's a question, too. What are the skills that I need to learn so that I can identify the risk in every asset? You think every asset has risk? Yeah. No matter what road you drive on, they all have risk. No matter what car you get in, they all have risk. You need to know where the risk is. Sometimes it's the other drivers. Sometimes you are the risk. Never mind. We're going to stop the jokes there. Jokes there. All right, let me show you what Shelly did. And and then I'll show you the math. Okay, so let's take Shelly. Shelly's one of our passive income club members. Crushing it, by the way. Shelly loves to race cars. She loves to race them. How many of you already love Shelly? Say me in the chat. Maybe this is all you know about Shelly, is that she loves to race cars. How many of you already love her? Like, I'm in. Love me some Shelly. So Shelly loves to race cars. She's just all around cars. You go to her house, down her driveway, she's got all kinds of cars that she's working on, tinker on, carburetors, spark plugs. There's oil stains everywhere. She just loves cars. So she's like, you know what? Let me use a strength I have, a skill set that I can lean into, and let me use that to get into asset acquisition. This is a game that I can play. So Shelly's like, what if I take one of my cars and I rent it to somebody? So Shelly is in Charleston, South Carolina. She lives near Charleston Airport. She's like, let me see if I can get a way that I can have my car available to somebody that flies into Charleston Airport. And if they need to get around, instead of renting from one of the big car rental places, they can rent from Shelly directly. Brilliant. Good morning, Paula. Good morning, sunshine. Good to see you. So then she's like, I'm going to do that. So she gets a car. She puts it at the airport. They start renting it from her. She uses a platform called Turo. If you're not familiar with Turo, everybody type Turo in the comments. I'm not plugging it, promoting it. I just want you to be aware that it exists. Turo is a marketplace where you can post your car, and then people that need to rent a car can go rent it. That's it. It's just connecting people. That's all. So Shelly takes her car, puts it on Turo, says, hey, it's going to be available at Charleston Airport. Somebody says, I'll take it. They pay her money. Isn't that a lot of liability? There is a lot of liability in life. When you are born, you take on great liability. What does that mean? That means you are not getting out of here alive. Yes, one day you're going to have to plan your funeral. If you haven't started doing that, you might want to think about that. Huh? The greatest risk that you take in life is being born. For the rest of our life, we do something called risk mitigation. What does it look like when you're a wee one? Before you cross this street, you should, let me know in the comments. Really quick, pop quiz, we'll get back to Shelly. What did your mommy or daddy teach you? If you didn't have a daddy, I just needed to get some milk. I'm on my way home. What did they teach you before you cross the road? You should what? You should look both ways. Wait a minute. The greatest risk that you take in life is being born. Why? Because you're not surviving this thing. That's just how it works out. It doesn't mean you don't cross streets. It doesn't mean you don't explore. It means that when you explore, you should look both ways. That's what it means. Jason just says, run! Jason says, close your eyes and run! Run towards the oncoming traffic is what Jason says. So there's going to be risk, but it doesn't mean we run from it. Good morning, Angel. Good morning. So Shelly finds this asset. She places it on the marketplace. That's what my mommy said. Let's go. We find the asset. We place the asset. She gets paid. Here's what Shelly's doing. For every car that she places on Turo, this is her results. Your results may vary. Please don't listen to me. Listen to me can be hazardous to your health. It can cause indigestion, upset stomach, heartburn, diarrhea. In rare instances, it can last longer than 4 hours. If it lasts longer than 4 hours, please reach out to a medical professional. Call Gotham Dark Knight or Sarah Givens. They will take care of that 4 hours for you, okay? Good morning. So this is her example. This does not mean this is going to work out for you. Shelly earns between $600 and $800 in net profit per asset. What? Every time Shelly takes a car and lists it on Turo, she earns between $600 and $800 in profit. How much did she spend to get her car? Shelly spent between $3,000 and $3,500 from buying the car, getting it ready, and then placing it on Turo. She's already in the profit since September to like January. Now she's bringing in a profit of $600 to $800 a month. per month, profit per month. So this is monthly profit after all expenses are said and done. So now what does this mean? What does this mean? Let's take Shelly. Shelly's got a W-2 job. That's the reason that motivated her to get out of that job. To get assets is because she's got one. She's like, this sucks. That's called being an adult. Waking up and realizing that the path that I'm on, dang it. It was all a lie. Go to school, get a good job. Crap. They lied to me. Now I got to get out of here. So now she's in a trap. She's got to escape the trap. So Shelly's W-2 job gives her money. She takes some of that money and she invests that money. She's going, how can I get to my retirement faster? We can't all be like you, William. You don't want to be like me. I want you to be like you. I just want you to be like you, but you look good with freedom on you, huh? Devin, how many of y'all think Devin looks good? I think Devin looks good, but I think Devin would look better with some freedom. Yes? I think you all look good. Not as good as me, but you look okay. And I think that you would look much better with a little freedom on you. Yes? Let's go, baby! Speaking of speed, good morning, Frank. We're talking about race cars. We're talking about Shelly, race cars, and then Mr. Race Car himself walks in. Everything always looks better with freedom on it. Amen. Amen. Yeah, Devin, you can't look as good as me. That's okay, girl. It's not about that. It's not a competition between me and you. I love you. Okay? I love you. Looks good. You look better with freedom on it. So Shelly has a W-2 full-time job. How many of you have a job and you're an employee? Type E in the chat. How many of you are a business owner? Type B in the chat. I look better, baby. Everybody type D in the chat for delusional. We have a new nickname, Delusional Devin. That's okay, Devin. We love you. Yes, sure, sure. E, unfortunately. This is for Delusional Devin. We're going to teach her live. Juliana, good morning. I need a second opinion. All right, Delusional Devin. We'll get back to you in just a minute. Let's finish this point. So if you have a job, you take a portion of your job and you save and stash that cash. C for chaos. Let's go, Chase. If you have a business, you take a portion of your profit and you save and stash that cash. One of the mistakes most business owners make is they continue to reinvest in their business, never buying their freedom from the business. We'll talk about that later on. But Shelly has a W-2 job. She takes that money. She stashes that cash. She stashes the cash. She goes, oh my gosh, if I take my money and I invest it, it's going to take me 50 years to get to a retirement goal. Watch how she accelerates time. Let's say, hypothetically, Shelly, from her job, is saving and investing $600 a month. $600 a month, which we're going to look at the numbers in a minute, times whatever interest rate she earns, is going to take her, let's say, 50 years to retire. Oh. But Shelly has an asset, and that asset gives her, low side, $600 a month in profit. Shelly just doubled her investment rate, but Shelly doesn't have to work harder at her job. From Shelly's job, she can save and invest $600 a month. Shelly gets an asset, places an asset, that asset produces profit. Now she's got $600 a month in profit. Shelly has doubled her rate of investment without having to work harder at her job. Does this make sense? Type Y for yes, type N for no. Then we'll look at the math on what it actually does to time and how you retire without waiting until you're 157 years old. What? So if I just get one asset, that's going to increase what I can save, and it's really going to cut down on time. Let's go look at the math. And if you're new here, by the way, my name is Will. We go live all the time, and we learn how to buy assets that produce profit. If you want to hang out with us every day, just come up here. I tap on the follow button somewhere. Let's go look at the math. Now, just really quick pop quiz. The average 65-year-old, if you're like committed to retirement planning, that's cool. I'm not going to try to stop you. The average retirement savings by age, according to Vanguard, is $200,000. If you were 65 years old and you had $200,000 saved up, would you be happy or sad? Good morning, Pedro. Good morning, 50 shots. Would you be happy or sad if $200,000, you're 65 years old and that's what you had in your pocket? Happy or sad? Let me know in the chat. Good morning. This is average. Sad. Sad. This is the average experience for everybody that's 65 or older. $200,000, how long would that last? You ready for this? Here we go. Let's go to median 401k balance. $200,000 is about the average for 65-year-olds. Median is a more accurate situation for people. $64,000. 401k balance, retirement, you're ready to roll. You've got $65,000. This is more accurate. How long would $65,000 last you in retirement? Good morning. Good morning, Angler's app. Good morning. So this is what everybody's doing. So let me show you the difference. Let's go to the math. What we just did, 3 months. Yeah, not going to last long. What we just did is we compared person one. This is the average retirement-focused person. I'm just going to save and invest in my 401k, get the employer's match, and I'll be rich. It doesn't work out that way. This is what it looks like. For us, we buy assets. Really simple. That's not enough Vegas for me. We need more Vegas. So we get assets. They kick off profit. Now let's compare it. Let's take a look at the example of Shelly. If she gets an asset that produces profit, she takes that profit and stacks it, how much faster can she get to where she wants to go? So we're going to take 3 variables. That's all that is in retirement planning. Variable number 1 is how much money you save and invest. Variable number 2 is time. Variable number 3 is the interest that you earn. All else being equal, we're just going to add assets to the equation. Would last me 2 years less. I'm going to retire as a Walmart greeter. No, let's don't do that. So let's say this person's saving and investing $500 a month. That comes out to $6,000 a year. This is why retirement planning doesn't work. Before you commit your entire life to a plan that doesn't work, let's fully understand the plan. Number 1, you have to save and invest money in a retirement plan. $500 a month, $6,000 a year. Let's say you do that for 30 years. If you get a 10% rate of return, it takes you 30 years to get to $1 million. Now the question here is not, is $1 million enough? No. That's not what we're asking because it likely is not. The question is, how do I get to the same $1 million destination, but it not take 30 years? Everybody type D in the chat for destination. Type D in the chat for destination. Also, we need to make sure Sarah's alive. Type D in the chat for destination. Jason, Bryn, Pedro, Super Dave. We had mediocre Dave in here earlier. I'm glad Super Dave's here. Good morning, D. Good morning, good morning. So this is the destination. The destination that we're deciding is $1 million. The question is, how do I get to that same destination but it not take 30 years? Here we go. You ready? Number 1, the only change we're going to make is getting an asset. I want you to notice there's no asset. Just keep working on your squats, the glutes and the hammies. The assets will show up. So we get an asset. That asset produces profit. Oh, destination. Produces profit. I then take that profit and I stack that cash. So if I save and invest more cash, where did the cash come from? From the assets I own. Just like Shelly's House of Speed, having cars on Turo, she takes the profit, she stacks the cash. So if she stacks the cash, she's got more money to invest. She can get to the same $1 million destination, but one asset saves her 7 years. Do you see this? Does this make sense? Type Y for yes, type in for no. If you just get one asset over your career, just one, you retire 7 years sooner. What do you think is more likely for you to accomplish? Identifying the perfect stock to invest in to take your portfolio to 7,000%, or getting an asset? What do you think? Stocks type S, asset type A. What do you think is more likely?
Well, I figured out the exact portfolio ratio of stocks to bonds. Therefore, I can mitigate my risk and capture the upside of the market.
Or get an asset that produces profit. You take the profit and you stack it. Okay, now, what if we A and S? I understand that the path I'm on is not working, so let me diversify. But I'm also delusional because I believe that I'm the next coming of Warren Buffett. The ego is strong with this one. That's okay. We'll give him some humble pie later. We're going to go out there and we'll get more assets. You ready? So 4 assets to cut to 30 years. Watch this. Watch. So now we get another asset. If you get 1, you can get 2. So we get 2. We stack the cash. Instead of it taking 30 years to get to your financial destination, love your work. Me love you long time. Instead of it taking 30 years to get to the same destination, the same D, Sarah, $1 million, it only takes 19 years. 2 assets saves you 11 years. How many of you would get 2 assets if it allows you to retire an entire decade sooner? Yes or no? Huh? You're giving me hope at 63. Good morning, Paul. Good morning. I'm happy to help. How many of you can get 2 assets? Would you do that? I'll get them today. Only if assets go up in value. Wrong. This is cash flow. That's one stream of income. You're talking about appreciation. The old growth stock versus dividend stock mentality. I recognize it. I remember that phase of my journey. What is considered an asset? You tell me. What is considered an asset? We've talked about this. An asset is something that produces income that doesn't require me to be there. I don't need my assets to appreciate in value if they produce cash flow, if it produces profit. But what if it also appreciates? That's a second stream of income. What if I'm also able to file it on my Schedule E tax return? So when I add it to my Schedule E, it pulls down my taxable income, and I save on taxes. That's not necessarily a stream of income, but it puts more money in my pocket. So that's 3 streams of income. Oh my gosh. But what happens if the government turns on the money printer and prints more money? Do assets go up in value or down? What do you think? If you think up, say up. If you think down, type D. If the government, which has a track record of turning on the money printer and putting more money in the supply, what happens to assets? Do they go up in value or do they go down? So many D's in the chat. Human ordeal, that's a normal day for you, isn't it? Just lots of D's flying at you. It's no different. You're like, oh my God, I feel like I'm at home. Where did all these D's come from? Okay, let me explain. Assets go up in value. Inflation benefits those that own assets. I'm glad you took that the right way. Inflation benefits those that own assets. Let's understand how inflation affects asset. You said you'd behave today. Devin, what if I told you this was good behavior? She clutches her pearls. Devin, it's okay. You ready? Here we go. Surrounded by D's. Sarah feels so safe and comfortable. She's in a safe, warm, loving environment, all these D's. Check this out. How does inflation affect people that own assets? The one thing I want you to understand before I get into this is that you want to own as many assets as you can before the government turns on the money printer. Watch. So let's say we live on an island. That looks like somebody's hairline. Listen, I don't know. This is a palm tree. This is an island. Did I go to art school? Yes. Did I graduate? No. None of your business. So we live on an island, okay? It's not the best island, but it is our island. And on that island, we have an economy. And in that economy, we have coconuts. We have a coconut economy. So these are the products that we have. Is it still passive if you're managing the rental and repairs and maintenance? I think you can answer that question yourself. So Wooski420, great username by the way, you tell me, is it still passive if you're insert work here? So on our island, we have 10 coconuts. 10 coconuts. And in our economy, we have $10. How much is each coconut worth? Let me know in the chat. If I've got 10 coconuts and our total economy has $10, how much is each coconut worth? Let me know in the chat. These are all of our assets. 10 coconuts on our little island with like the Simpsons hairline. Let me know. How much, whatever I want to sell them for, there's only 10 products like in the entire economy. I think I know 2 buttons. Each asset is worth $1. If there's 10 total dollars in our economy, and there's only 10 total products, each asset's worth, see you tomorrow, Shelly, let's go! Shelly's coming over, we got bunk beds. Shelly, did you call top or bottom bunk? Shelly, are you top or bottom? I don't remember. Anyway, does this make sense? If I've only got $10 in my economy, and I've only got 10 coconuts, each coconut is only worth $1. Type 1 in the chat. Everybody following along, type 1. Make sense? So now, what happens if the great island government in the sky says, we're going to airdrop money to your location? So they turn on the money printer. And we still have our same 10 coconuts. Our production didn't increase. Our assets didn't increase. It's the same 10 coconuts. Except all of a sudden, overnight, our economy experiences an influx of cash. The government prints money. Now we have $100 on our little island economy, but we still have the same 10 coconuts. How much is each coconut worth? Let me know in the chat. We didn't do anything differently. I went to sleep, we had $10 in the economy. I woke up, we had $100 in the economy. How much is each coconut worth? Let me know in the chat. This is inflation. You know, gas prices are up, grocery prices are up. It's because the money printer goes, brrr. That wasn't a printer, that was a bird. It was, Birdman, is that you? Hello? $10. Those that own assets benefit from the government printing money. Those that don't own assets do not benefit when the government prints money. No matter what, the government is always going to print money. Therefore, you need to own assets. This situation is called appreciation. The asset went up in value. Why did the asset go up in value? In this example, it's because the government printed money. They put more money in the money supply. So if we live on an island and there's only 10 coconuts and we only had $10, but then the government comes along and puts more money on our island, we have more money to share. So all of the assets, we didn't add any more assets. We didn't add any more labor. We didn't increase production. We didn't have any more goods. Good morning, Dwayne Lockwood. So this means each asset goes up in value. And that's a different stream of income that I'm not even talking about. We solve for cash flow. If we solve for cash flow, can we label the coconuts on what type of assets? You can do whatever you want. Not a regular dad. Good morning. Good morning. Does that make sense to everybody? Type Y for yes, type in for no. Do we understand that simple concept of how inflation affects us? Yes or no? Type Y for yes, type in for no, or type S for speed. Good morning, Shelly. We just talked about your example. Yes, yes. Okay, so Shelly goes out there. She rents her Turo car out. She's getting income from it. She takes that income. She stacks the cash. Instead of it taking Shelly 30 years to get to her destination, cancel Money Man Myers. Good morning. Your shirt is on the way. It's neither here nor there. This is a Juicy Couture hanger. I just noticed that. But your shirt's on the way. Good morning. Good morning. Cancel Money Man. So your example with the 5 asses. I want a shirt. Let's go, Shelly. How's the speed? Yeah, but I need gas stains, fuel stains, and oil stains on the shirt. Still haven't gotten mine. Devin. Oh my gosh. Okay, stand by. Devin got a shirt on the way. Hold on. How do I pin the comment? There we go. Okay, so Devin, I gotta talk to you. I sent your shirt in the mail. It went out last week, I think on Monday last week. Because your shirt is so big, so wide, I think it's like a 3X or 4X. The post office said the airplane crashed. I know. There was so much cloth material, Devin, on your shirt when you ordered it and we sent it to you that there was overpacked the entire USPS Postal Service airplane, and it unfortunately crashed. We're gonna get a new shirt out to you, but we have to cut it up and ship it in different sections. Okay, so I'll get that shirt to you. I know you like big shirts. Can I say it that way? We're gonna have to ship it to you in different. And then when it gets there, we got an assembly instructions. So we're gonna have to send you instructions on how to assemble your shirt when it arrives. USPS. Fortunately, it was insured. So otherwise, I mean, $747. What would that cost me? Just bring it up when you come see me next. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. All right, fair enough. All right, so let's continue on. Let's lock in. If you're new here, my name is Will. I'm easily distracted. I'm doing my best to focus. If you want to hang out with us every day, we learn how to buy assets that produce profit and maximize tax savings. Just tap on the follow button somewhere up there. Have you ever seen instructions on how to assemble a shirt? You ever seen somebody so big? Doesn't matter. Here we go. Anyway, so 2 assets. Instead of it taking 30 years to get to $1 million in your retirement account, instead of it taking 30 years to get to $1 million in your retirement account, we acquired 2 assets. And it takes 19 years to get to the same $1 million destination. So what if we do it again? In your career, if you get 4 assets, an asset by definition is something that produces income that doesn't require you to be there. Rental property, self-storage, laundromat, car wash, whatever you're into. Focus. I'm doing my best. If I get 4 assets, I take the profit from the assets and I stack the cash. I get to the same $1 million destination, but I do it in 15 years instead of 30. What? Cuts it down considerably. You actually can retire, if $1 million is your goal, you actually retire in half the time. Instead of it taking you 30 years to get to your goal, you get there in half the time. Does this make sense to everybody? Type Y for yes, type N for no. Y for yes, N for no. It's just math. Instead of chasing the stocks that you cannot control and trying to go from a 7% rate of return to a 9% rate of return, it is mathematically going to get to your destination faster by just getting an asset. That's it. Me and my teacups, let's go, tea time. Oh my gosh. Shelly, tea party, House of Speed. I love your personality, and I love that one side of you just has to go fast. Like you literally put on a fire suit in case your car catches on fire, that you'll survive. But then the other side of you is like, would you like to have a tea party? That's awesome. I love that so much. Oh my gosh, tapping out, but we'll return. Good morning, Paul. And if you're new here, my name is Will. We go live all the time. Is there an asset brainstorming sesh? Yes, actually, I didn't even announce this. I've got a free training behind the scenes of the Passive Income Club. The Passive Income Club is a group that I run. We've got about 500 members all around the world actively learning how to buy and evaluate assets that produce profit. How many of you want that free behind the scenes training of the Passive Income Club? Just say me. How many of you want that? The free behind the scenes of the Passive Income Club. How do I find assets, evaluate them, practice buying them, all that stuff. Just join. I'm already falling behind. It's time to go. Full speed. I think you can get it. Let me see if it's there. Okay, so when you're to get, I'll send you the free training. I'll email it to you or text it to you, whatever you prefer. When you're in the TikTok Live, tap on this little orange button. Boop, boop. When it pops up, it's going to say down here, Passive Income Club. So tap on the Passive Income Club, and then it'll ask you for your email or your phone number or whatever you want to put in there, and then I will send you a free behind-the-scenes training. Cool? The club is freaking dope. Let's go. The club is awesome. The club is awesome. We've got people buying vending machines. Jeffrey, that guy bought 2 more vending machines this week. Larissa's got vending machines in LA, duplexes, rental properties, self-storage, ice vending machines, foreclosures. Shelly is like Turo, car rental, teacups. It's getting out of control. Oh my gosh. Just joined. Let's go. Let's go. Yeah. So it's free. Go down there, tap on the orange little bubble. There's an orange bubble down there and just click Passive Income Club. Put your email, your phone number, whatever you want, and then I'll send you one of the free trainings behind the scenes. That way you can kind of see what we do inside the Passive Income Club, how we find assets, how we produce profit, all that good stuff. But let's get to another one. Come here. Come here. Over here. Shh. Shh. Devin, I promise the shirt. The shirt's on the way. Okay? I promise. I didn't expect you to take down an entire airplane. That's crazy. There's so much cotton material. Oh my gosh. I had to buy an entire cotton farm just to get enough cotton to make the shirt for Devin. Can you believe that? An entire farm for one shirt? That's a big girl. That's a big old thing right there now. Nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying. Yay, let's go. Vending machines in Jamaica. We Irene on. Lisa Marie, I'm going to be in your neck of the woods soon. Do you focus on U.S. assets only? Do you have a CFP or a CFA or a CPA? I have an LMNOP, QRS, TUV. My name is Wet Willie. I go live all the time and I teach you what I did to get financially free at 29. This is the only credentialing I have. I don't know if that's good enough to win the approval from your mom, but that's the only thing that I have. I do own a CPA tax firm. How many of you want to learn how to hire a CPA? Say me. Say me in the chat. Won me over. Good morning. Good morning. I only teach you the things that I do. I have no credentialing whatsoever. By the way, credentialing means absolutely nothing. How many letters come after your name? What's the number one thing? The number one thing that matters is results. What kind of results do you deliver to the people that take your advice? That's all that matters. Crazy, I'm trying to become debt-free by 32. I'm 29 now. Let's go. Dude, I love it. I love it. Now, I want it all. Donnie ball game. Donnie ball game. I was so fired up this morning. I almost text you, but it was like 4 a.m. my time, which means it's 3 a.m. your time. I was like, I need to chill. So then I went to the email and I wrote an email. Good morning. That shirt makes you look thin. First of all, who said it's the shirt? Okay, good morning. Good morning. That's like a backwards compliment. I appreciate it. Thank you. But it's almost like you look good for your age. Did we need that last part? Did we need that last part? Good morning. Okay, all right. Let's lock in. My bad. The name of the game, the core thesis that we talk about all the time, is that we go out there and we buy assets that produce passive income. Passive income, when greater than expenses, you're financially free. Good morning. Highest education equals high school. Dude, I would tell you this, 6th grade was the toughest 12 years of my life. Oh my gosh, you got to repeat again and again and again and again. Like, I get it. I don't get it on the test, but I get it. So if I buy assets, this can be real estate, this can be laundromat, this can be car wash, this can be self-storage. These can be a variety of different things. An asset, by definition, is something that produces income that doesn't require our time. So if my personal living expenses, and this is the thing you need to go through. Let me teach you how to reverse engineer this. In the comments below, what does it cost you every month to cover all of your expenses? Let me know. Good morning. I learned 50 years ago the letters we receive from school or university are nothing but useless. Amen. Amen. Credentialing is the most overrated thing in professionals. Means absolutely nothing. It means absolutely nothing. Good morning. Not even a CPA. Correct. Who? Good morning. My name is Will. I have no credentialing. I am an idiot. Do not listen to me. Hold on. It sounds like we got some new people here. Can we pull up the disclaimer? Good morning. My name is Will. Nice to meet you. The disclaimer. Yeah, my attorney wrote this. I'm not an attorney. I hire attorneys. Okay, here we go. My name is Will. Welcome to my TikTok. Disclaimer. I'm going to read a disclaimer. If you feel like you've been disclaimed, type D in the chat. Bum. Good morning. Good morning. Okay, we're going to get back on track. Let me read you my disclaimer. If you feel like you get disclaimed, type D in the chat. All right, let's get this pulled up here. How do I pin it? Cool. Do not listen to this guy. This guy is an idiot. It should be obvious to you by now how dumb this guy is on TikTok Live. Listening to him can be hazardous to your health. It can cause indigestion, upset stomach, heartburn, diarrhea. In rare instances, it can cause it to last longer than 4 hours. If it lasts longer than 4 hours, please reach out to a medical professional, call your doctor, or Sarah Gibbons. She'll take care of it, just like the 4 firefighters that she took care of last night. Wow, who wrote this disclaimer? Continuing to listen to this TikTok Live can cause you to lose loss of limbs. Oh my gosh, this guy has the IQ just above the level of bean dip. You should be warned now. Type D in the chat for disclaimer. Type, been there, D in the chat for disclaimer. Nissa Inu, lick. Yo! Nissa Inu calls me a bum. Listen, I understand one thing in life, and I understand that people that are hurting inside usually lash out at other people. So, Nissa, for you to come in here and be so upset at me, I understand you're dealing with some pain, and I'm joking around, but really, like human to human, I want you to know that I love you, and I want you to hopefully find the healing that you're looking for. You will never find healing or happiness by attacking other people. It's okay, I'm a big boy, I can take it. You can say whatever you want to me. Can I go a little deep right now? Type D in the chat for deep. Can I go deeper on this? I want you to know there's nothing that you can say to me that will hurt me because in a prior life, I was so negative in my own thinking. I would say so many nasty things to myself. I've heard worse than you could ever say to me because I said it to myself. Can I go here? And a couple of things, man. I want you to know that happiness, there's plenty of it. It's an abundant resource. You can be happy and I can be happy. You can be loved and I can be loved. I can love and you can love. There's so many things that you can have in life. And for you to wake up first thing in the morning and then feel pressed, feel upset that I'm on TikTok Live, I think we need to just take a deep breath, have a cup of coffee, go grab your Bible, and then try to love yourself a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Have you tried loving yourself this morning? How many of you are going to love yourself today? You know what I'm saying? Everybody type love in the chat. I love myself in the morning. I love myself at night. I love myself at lunch break. I love myself. Huh? Good morning. Good morning. Me. How many of you are loving yourself right now? Never mind. Okay. That's all I want you to know. All I want you to know is I've been here long enough on this earth to know that hurting people try to hurt other people. Good morning. You know what I'm saying? Okay, let's get back on track. My bad. I love my ex. I love myself all the time. Loving myself twice this morning already. Wait a minute. Wait, what are we talking about in the comments? Me, good morning. Oh my gosh. This got off the rails quickly. If you're new here, nice to see you. My name is Will. We go live all the time. We learn how to buy assets that cash flow. And we're going to lock back in. So in the chat, I want you to practice this principle. How you actually get to retirement planning, how you actually get to financial freedom is very simple. Income replaces your expenses. So let's reverse engineer. In the comments below, what does it cost you every month to cover all of your expenses? Give me some numbers in the chat. I'm going to take your number from the comments and I'm going to put it on the board. What does it cost you to cover your rent or your mortgage, your groceries, utilities, car payments? Good morning, Columbia. Florida Keys. This guy comes in every morning. Hey, man, I'm on the beach right now in the Florida Keys, having a Mai Tai. How dare you? Good morning. What does it cost you every month? 10K was 5, now about 6. Jason, let's go. Oh my gosh, 3.3K. What does it cost you every month to cover all of your expenses? Somebody said 20K. Every month. This is just retirement planning 101. Income greater than expenses. Income is not connected to time. Good morning, Dreamweaver. Twin Falls, Idaho. Good morning. What does it cost you every month to cover all of your expenses? I'm going to teach you how to reverse engineer this goal. Greg, good morning. 15K. What's up, babe? 15K every month. $7,200 a month. All right, we got everybody's number? Anybody else? Last chance. Jump in. All American Terminator. Everybody get down. Ow. I'm going to take Nissa with me to the Keys. Good morning from Plano. Good morning, Plano, Texas. We're going to be up there doing some foreclosure stuff soon. Good morning, Angel. Good morning. Good morning, Greg. Good morning. All right, so now that you know your number, this is your replacement goal. This is your target. How do I get income coming in that covers these expenses? So we can just go and pick out all kinds, 20K. We can go pick out all kinds of assets. It can be real estate, it can be laundromat, it can be car wash, it can be self-storage, it can be rental properties, it can be multifamily, it can be Section 8, it can be mixed use, mobile homes, parking lots, RV parks, whatever you're into. All kinds of stuff. So if I buy an asset and this asset gives me hypothetically $1,000 a month in profit, let's say, for example, you've got $5,000 in expenses. So you decide, okay, I'm going to buy storage. Storage gives me $1,000 a month. If my personal expenses are 5, in the comments, how many assets do I need until I'm free? How many assets do I need until I'm free? How many assets do I need? If each asset gives me $1,000 in profit, and my personal expenses are $5,000, how many assets do I need? 5 assets to break even and cover your expenses. Instead of buying assets that, instead of waiting until you're old to retire, we buy assets that produce profit. Instead of asking yourself the question, how many years until I can retire? We ask ourselves the question, how many assets must I acquire? Oh, that's the game. Good morning. If you're new here, how many of you want to learn how to buy foreclosures that produce profit? You want to learn about foreclosures? Type F in the chat. Type F in the chat. We'll learn about foreclosures. I'll teach you 5 steps or less. We'll do that next. Miss Mac, All-American Terminator, Adam Designs, Nelson, Human Ordeal. Okay, let's get that on the agenda. How many of you want to learn how to buy real estate right now even though interest rates are high? 10 Turo car fleet or a foreclosure flip. Let's go, Donnie ball game. Okay, so let's get into an agenda. Let's talk about foreclosures. Can y'all see this over there? Is that off camera? That's off camera. Okay, foreclosures. Let's talk about, if you want to buy real estate, even though interest rates are high, type R in the comments. Searching for my next asset, but using my VA loan. Love it. Love it. R. Okay, let's get into that, Mrs. Mack. I got you. Foreclosures, real estate, even though interest rates are high. If we get time, we can talk about storage. If you want to talk about self-storage, I've got a couple of examples we can review. Just type S in the chat. Is Mr. Phil, all of it, Juliana? Okay, I got you. I got you. Laundromat, L. Ooh. Okay, we'll get to laundromat. I've got some stuff I can show you on that. I've even got some financial statements with equipment lists on it we can review. Car wash. Okay, all right. You're just going to work me today. I dig it. Over here. Let's get after it. Let's skedaddle, skadoosh. By the way, if you didn't get a chance, I've got a free training I'll send to you. Send it to you via email or text message, whatever you prefer. It's a behind-the-scenes look at the Passive Income Club and what we do in the group. So I run a private group called the Passive Income Club. We actively go out there to learn how to find, evaluate, and buy assets that produce profit. If you want that free training of behind the scenes of the group, just say me in the comments and I'll show you how to get it for free. I'm going to flip over. We're going to start learning about assets. House auctions, bank owned and foreclosed for sure. Just say me in the comments and I'll show you how to get the training. I'll send it to you for free. It's a little behind the scenes look at it, but let's get into deals. We might have time. Okay. Me. Okay, to get it, really simple, there's an orange button in the bottom corner. You see it down here in the corner? Look, there's a little orange button. Tap on the orange button. Boop. When it pops up, you see where it says Passive Income Club? Just tap on that guy. Boop. Wait, that's not the right thing. Passive Income Club right there. Boop. And then it just says email, phone number, whatever you want to do. I'll email it to you after this. So go do that right now. Tap on the little orange button in the corner. Once you're done, say done. And then I'll send it to you a little bit later on today. Okay, let's go here. I got something for you. All right, come here. We haven't done a good foreclosure in a while. So let's get into it. I'm not submitting. Then don't. Doesn't matter to me. Good morning. Good morning. All right, this is something you really got to understand about foreclosures. There's a lot of opportunity out there. Oh, it's not submitting. Oh, I got these. I'm not submitting. It's got it. Wait a minute, it's not going through? Stand by. Okay, so when you tap here, and you go to Passive Income Club, and you fill this out, does it go through? Yes or no? How many of you got through? Type Y for yes, type N for no. Did that work for you? Done. No, Miss Downing, it's not working. Okay, so Miss Downing says it's not working. Yes, Alex, it's working. Edible Arrangements, Haymark, Virginia is working. Florida Keys says it's working. Huh. Miss Downing, Mars Miller, yes. Miss Mack, it works. Okay. It looks like the form's working. I don't know what it is on your side, technical side. Maybe try again. I don't know. I'm going to get IT on it. I'm going to get some tech support on it. But let me walk you through this map. Let me show you something really quick. Let's get into foreclosures. If you want to learn how to find any value. Yes, it worked. Let's go. Let me try this. Stand by. Let me try one thing. I want to see. Okay, so just a little marketing side. Let me give you a little inside scoop. We're going to watch to see if me putting this graphic up here is going to adjust the view count. So you see what the view count in the TikTok room? Everybody type M for marketing really quick. We're going to see if we put a headline on the top of this TikTok live, if it's going to change the view count. So we're going to go into this. We're going to teach this training. We're going to see if that number jumps. Let's find out. Let's see what happens. Okay, so we're talking about foreclosures live right now. How do I find and evaluate a foreclosure in 5 steps or less? I'm going to teach you that in just a second, but I need you to understand a couple of quick concepts about foreclosures. Number one, the foreclosure market is getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. There is more opportunity hitting a foreclosure market right now than I've ever seen in my career. And I've been looking at foreclosures, buying foreclosures, evaluating them for quite some time. I don't want to say out loud how long. That's none of your business. This map represents the record rates that foreclosures are hitting the market. What? Everybody type R in the chat for record. R in the chat for record. Record rates that foreclosures are hitting the markets. No matter what state you're in, there is record rates of foreclosures hitting the markets. But let's first understand what a foreclosure is. You ready? And then we'll get into how to find and evaluate foreclosures in 5 steps or less. Foreclosures. What's really interesting is that a foreclosure, somebody went out there and bought a house. And if somebody gets a house and they get a 30-year mortgage, and they pay the minimum payment on this mortgage for 30 years, what is their balance on their mortgage? If somebody gets a mortgage 30 years ago, and they make the minimum payment every month for 30 years, what is their balance? Type that number in the chat. Let me know in the comments. What is the number that it would be? Zip, zero, nada. There'd be nothing left on that debt, correct? Everybody type 0 in the chat. 0 is the correct answer. They get a 30-year mortgage, they make the minimum payment for 30 years, there's nothing left. Everybody type 0. So if I find a foreclosure, and let's say hypothetically it's at the 15-year mark, and they've made the minimum payments on the foreclosure for 15 years, that debt has been paid down. The opening bid at a foreclosure auction is the remaining debt. Side note, if you live in a judicial state, which means you have to be sued in order to have a foreclosure happen, or a non-judicial state is going to affect this number. I thought it was a trick question. No trick question, but great point. So the opening bid is likely going to be the debt. If you live in a judicial state, they might tack on attorney fees on that. But let's just take this number. During that same 15-year period, when the debt has been paid down on this house, the value of that house likely went up. Is that fair? Well, if the value is up here and the opening bid is up there, if I buy it, I'm going to buy it and have all this profit built in from day one. Type P in the chat for profit. What? Foreclosures are a tremendous opportunity, and this is lesson number 1, because you can buy it for the remaining debt. That's where you bid. I'm going to teach you how we play this game in just a second. But you're going to own it for what it's worth. That difference is called profit. Type P in the chat for profit. Oh, this is foreclosure basics. Good morning, Vero Fun. Good morning, Coffee Date. Late again. Type P in the chat for profit. This is where your profit resides. Now, side point, like lesson number 2. What you do with this asset afterwards is entirely up to you. If you want to, you can automatic equity from day one, out of the gate. As soon as you make the purchase, this is what you own it for. Side note, acquisition is phase 1 of every asset. Phase 2 is how do I make profit from it every month. That's my cash flow. It's my income. Well, you could take this asset and you could rent it out like a long-term rental. You could take this asset and do like short-term rental like an Airbnb. You could take this asset, you could flip it, you could cash out, refinance, take your equity out of it, then rent it. I mean, there's midterm rentals, all kinds of stuff that you can do with this asset. But this is how we acquire it cheap, but own it for what it's worth. So let's get into the deal. If you want to find and evaluate foreclosures live right now, I'm going to teach you in 5 steps. But let me know in the chat what state you're tuning in from. Where are you at? Let me know in the comments. Don't give me your address, but what state are you in? I don't need to get that specific. New York, Kansas, good morning. Illinois, Texas, good morning. Good morning. We're going to learn foreclosures in 5 steps or less. And then if you want to, good morning, Ontario. Good morning, Nicholas in Texas. New York, Virginia. Good morning, New Jersey, Washington State. Minnesota. All right, let's learn foreclosures in 5 steps or less. Lots of Minnesota this morning. Good morning. California. Good morning. All right, so how do I find and evaluate foreclosures in 5 steps or less? Step number 1, you're already doing it. You're going to go to the internet, you're going to search who maintains property records in your state. Who maintains property records in Indiana? Who maintains property records in Tennessee? Who maintains property records in Nevada? Who maintains property records where I live in Texas? Who? That's right, Brandon. That's right, Jason. Who? You have to say it like that. Who maintains property records? The first principle of finding and evaluating foreclosures in 5 steps or less is to search for who maintains property records. By law, somebody in your state is responsible for maintaining all property transactions. Who is that person? Step number 2, you're then going to go to that source. Source. Everybody type 2 in the chat. Source. Stand by, Kennedy. I got something for you. Type 2 in the chat. That's your source. That's where you're going to return to. Just type 2 in the comments. That's where you're going to return to find property record information. So I search who maintains property records in Texas. I find that in the state of Texas, the county clerk maintains property records for foreclosures. Huh? So I search who maintains property records in Texas. I find out the county clerk's office. Then I go to the county clerk's office and I look for the list. If you're new here, my name is Will. We're learning how to find and evaluate foreclosures in 5 steps or less. If you want to learn with us, just tap on the follow button. I go live all the time. So, who maintains property records in your state? You go to the source, you look for the list. When I get to the list, do y'all want to evaluate a foreclosure live right now? Type Y for yes, type in for no. Should we look at one right now, yes or no? What do you think? Like an actual live deal? Yes. Jojo, yes, amazing, Vero Fun, Jojo, Jason, Human Ordeal, Bryn, Angel, all right. Juliana, good morning. Nelly, good morning, Nelly. Good morning. Every time Nelly pops in here, I love her pup. I'm like, look at the puppy, it's so cute. So cute. All right, here we go. We haven't done this one in a while. Actual live deal in Nevada, let's go. Let me show you one, and then see, compadre. Let me show you one. Let's find Gotham's old house. We're going to take Gotham's old house. Then we'll go look on the internet and we'll find some actual foreclosures. You ready? All right. So when I go to the property records division which is the county clerk here in Texas. I go look for the foreclosures. When I get to the foreclosures, I find this. It says, notice to substitute trustee sale. It says, notice is hereby given at a public sale at auction of the property. This is the document that I find. What we're going to do now is figure out what information I need to pull from that document. So good morning, Gulf Painter. Good morning, baby. When I see the foreclosure, I know all this information, but there's two other pieces of information that I need. When I find the announcement, I need to get some information from that foreclosure announcement. What information do I need? In the comments below, type the first letter. Don't say the whole word. What is the thing that Sarah Gibbons looks for first thing in the morning when she wakes up? Does anybody know? When Sarah Gibbons wakes up first thing in the morning, what does she look for? Type the first letter. Don't type the full word. Don't type the word. Trella. D. The D. Everybody in the chat, type D. What does Sarah Gibbons look for when she wakes up in the morning? D. Sarah's got to get that vitamin D. She just needs her vitamins first thing in the morning. So she reaches for the D. Where is it? Give it to me. Is it in this room? Is it in this bed? Where is the D? Give it to me. So we're going to look for something very similar. We're going to look for the D. Not the same D that Sarah Gibbons looks for. No. Different type of D. Off the rails again. We're all, no, this is fine. I think about it, wake up, got to have it. There she is, guys. Gentlemen, if you think you've got some good vitamin D that you can give to Sarah, some good recommendations, just slide in her DMs right now and say, Daddy's here. Just go do that right now. She's in the chat. You can just message her. Her DMs are open all the time. If you have vitamin D that you think could be plentiful to her, she would find value in it. It would help with her health. She's big into health. She's a health nut, if you know what I'm saying. Anyway, so we're going to go look for the D too. But I got blocked for that. Oh, Jason, yeah, you better lock in. You better lock in. Debt. That's what we're going to look for. Not the same thing that Sarah looks for. No. We follow Sarah in some things, other things we don't follow Sarah. Debt. We're going to look for the debt. You ready? Here we go. So on the foreclosure announcement, which is this document here, on the foreclosure announcement, it says notice to substitute trustee sale. I'm looking for the debt amount. Does anybody see the number? Type the number in the comments. Type the number in the chat. What is the debt amount on this foreclosure? Anybody see it? Type the number in the chat when you see it. What is the debt amount on this foreclosure? 175. 175,000, Jojo. Abel, 175. Angel, amazing family, good morning. 175,000. So now let's go back to our 5-step process of how to find and evaluate foreclosures. So I found the debt. Let's just go over here. Debt. This is going to be the opening bid. Negative 175. I don't know if I should buy it yet. I only know what it's going to cost me to get into the deal. And it could get bid up for sure. So I found the D. If I've got the D, what am I looking to pair that with? Don't say the full word. Just give me the first letter in the comments. If I've got good D, what do I want to pair that with? Let me know in the comments. If I've got good D in this transaction, what do I want to pair it with? Jojo, V. That's right. V. Everybody in the comments, type V. The V. Vero Fun. Vero Fun. Oh, I see what you're doing. I like it. V. We're looking for the V. If you've got the D, you want to find the V. The V. So what does the V stand for? It stands for, let's go to the second letter, the V. The value. That's right, the value. What is it worth? If I'm going to buy a thing, I know my cost to buy it, but what is it actually worth? Good morning. What did you say? We're always fun, I bet. Let me go back to DV Combo. I wish I could buy a house for 175. Where I live, they start at 600. Okay, let me be crystal clear. If houses are too expensive on the open market, do we buy houses on the open market? Or do we learn how to buy them at foreclosures? Type F for foreclosure in the comments. Alex, I need you to look at me in the ojos. If houses are too expensive, what are some ways that we can buy assets? Why do you think I'm teaching this in a high interest rate environment when home values are going through the roof? How many of you are like, oh, I got it? Huh? He's learning. Let's go. Good morning. Good morning. Oh, yes. Yeah, there we go. Awesome. Awesome. Okay. So what is the value of this asset? What is it worth? I go back to the foreclosure announcement, and then we'll go look for deals. We'll go look for deals. I go back to the foreclosure announcement, and I take some information from the foreclosure announcement. And I go look at the address. I'm going to go estimate the value. Zillow says it. Zillow's not the most accurate. I know. But I want to spend 2 to 3 minutes ballparking this before I invest 2 to 3 hours. So what is the ballpark estimate of the value of this home? Zillow says it's worth $325. Okay. If the value of this home is worth $325 and I can get into it for $175, what is my potential profit? Let me know. It's a great starting point, 100% Dottie Ball Game. Do banks work with you well on these deals? A couple of different ways that I can answer that question. Can I borrow money to buy a foreclosure? Yes. Would I work with the bank to buy from them? That's after this part of the process. That's called bank-owned or REO, real estate owned, where a bank already has it. What's my potential profit in this transaction? $150,000. If this is true, and if all these numbers are accurate, we have to go verify all of this stuff. But if this is true, should we continue researching this asset? Y for yes, in for no. Should we continue reviewing this deal if there's $150,000 in potential profit? Yes or no? By the way, if you didn't get a chance and you want the free behind-the-scenes training on how to find assets that produce profit, just say me in the comments. I've got a free training. I take you behind the scenes of my private group. It's called the Passive Income Club. I'm going to send you a free training on some of the assets that we found, that we purchased in the group. I'm going to teach you how we do that. We've got a lot of members all over the world that are inside the Passive Income Club actively buying assets. If you want me to send you that training, just say me in the comments and I'll show you how to get it. Of course I'm going to pursue this asset. $150,000 potential profit? I like it. Me. Okay, to get it, it's somewhere down here. Just tap on this. There's a little button that looks like this. When you tap on this button, it'll pop up and then it says Passive Income Club. Tap on Passive Income Club button, put in your email, your phone number, whatever you want, and then I will send you that behind the scenes training. I take you behind the scenes of my private group called the Passive Income Club. We've got members all over the world actively learning how to buy assets, from storage to foreclosures to rental properties to vending machines to ice vending machines. The button's somewhere down here. Cool? Awesome. All right, so I've got $150,000 potential profit. I'm ready to rock and roll. I'm going to get my money ready. I go to my lender. You can borrow money for a foreclosure. Good morning, Israel. I get my money ready. I'm ready to go spend. Let's go spend, baby. But wait a minute. Just because there's $150,000 in potential profit doesn't mean that's all that's there. There's one more piece of information I got to look for. We're going to go find it in a second. But that piece of information that I need starts with an L. Everybody type L in the chat. Then we're going to go buy it. James, let's go. Everybody type L in the chat. What do I need to look for? Liens. Liens. I need to go look for any other liens. What is a lien? A lien is a debt. A debt is a lien. Let's say I hire a contractor. Let's say Vero Fund does bathroom remodels. And I hire Vero Fund. She drives up here from Houston to Austin, and she renovates my bathroom. And I pay her the first invoice and the second invoice, but I don't pay her the final invoice. She's going, Will, you son of a gun. I go, well, I got a nice bathroom though, and I lock the door and she can't come in. She goes, God. So I owe her money because she did bathroom remodel. Well, what Vero Fund can do is she can put a construction lien, a contractor's lien, a mechanic's lien against my house. So when I go to sell my house, she finally gets paid the money that's owed to her. So that's what a lien is. It's a debt that I owe, in this example, that contractor. So in order for me to, when I sell my house, she finally gets paid. Well, if I'm going to go buy foreclosures and there's a potential profit of $150,000, I need to make sure that I understand where all the liens are, all the other debts that I may be responsible for before I buy the asset. Does this make sense? Type Y for yes, type N for no. I need to make sure that I know all the liens, because that profit may not be that profit Yes, yes. So I'm going to go to my original source. Remember, foreclosures in 5 steps or less. Step number 1, who maintains property records in your state? You search it. Who maintains property records in my state? Step number 2, I go to that source and I look for the list. When I find the list, I look for the debt, look for the value. Now, bonus step, we're going to look for the liens. So I go to the Dallas County Clerk website. It says Dallas County Clerk right here. When I go to the Dallas County Clerk website, I find notice of child support lien. I find child support lien 1, child support lien 2, child support lien 3. If there are 3 child support liens, in the comments, let me know, how many baby mamas are there? Oh no. Don't worry, we're going to do math next. If there are 3 child support liens, how many baby mamas are there? Oh no. Here we go, baby mama issues. Vero, I know. Vero's been trying to hit me with child support years. Never going to get it, never going to get it. You can try to catch me, but you can't. 3! I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding, by the way. Just kidding. I'm just kidding. 3 baby mamas. Oh! 7 years, let's go. Oh my gosh. Liens are wiped in foreclosure. No, that's not true. Good morning. Like a solar panel lien in Texas, that you're not liable for that. Department of Justice lien, you're never going to see that house. Be very careful. Liens are not wiped at foreclosure. So there's 3 child support liens here. Oh! That means that whoever owned this house right now has child support liens. They've got 3 different baby mamas. Baby mama number 1 is owed $4,900. Baby mama number 2 is owed $1,100. Baby mama number 3 is $24,820. In conclusion, there are $30,000 in child support liens, which means our $150,000 profit goes down. It goes down by $30,000. 150 minus 30 equals what? Let me know in the comments. Especially family court liens. Yeah. And it can get spicy quick. 120,000. Everybody type 120 in the comments. Our new potential profit after the child support liens is 120. Everybody type 120. And if you're new here, my name is Will. We learn how to buy assets at Cashflow. If you want to hang out with us every day, just tap on the follow button. If it's 120, do we still want to pursue the deal? Yes or no? Do we still want to pursue the deal? Our profit did get affected by the unpaid child support liens. Went from 150 to 120. Do we still like it? Yeah? Alex says no. 120,000 in potential profit. I got my cash ready. I still say yes. I like it. $120,000 in potential profit? How many of those transactions do you need over your career? So I get my money ready. I get my cashier's checks ready. I get my lending ahead of time. I'm ready to go do this thing. Let's rock and roll. But I did notice that when I was on this page, it said page 1 of 2. So I'm looking at the child support liens. It says page 1 of 2. Should I go to page 2, type 2? Or should I just ignore it and go to the auction? Keyword potential. I think all the words are keywords. That's why they're there. Good morning. Should we go to page 2? All right. I'm going to close my eyes. I'm going to go to page 2. Will you tell me in the comments if I should look? Okay, so we're on page 2. Should I look or no? Is it good news or bad news? I don't know what's behind me. I went to page 2. What's on there? What is it? Is it head in the sand? Should I look? Is it good news or bad news? You tell me. What is it? It's worser. Did it get gooder or worser? Is it good? I'm going to look. I'm going to look now. I'm just going to look at it. Here we go. You ready? Good news or bad news? You ready? Is this real? This is a real deal. Yes. Yes. Okay, here we go. I'm going to look. Oh, Lord have mercy. 3 child support liens plus 4 child support liens. How many total baby mamas are there? What's 3 plus 4? The theory of repeated events is most likely to occur. Let's go, Craig. 3 baby mamas plus 4 baby mamas equals how many baby mamas? How many baby mamas? 7. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. That's the definition of insanity. Yeah. Someone lock this man up. Could be baby daddies. I guess it depends how you vote. Like what you believe on that, right? Like, can a man give birth? I don't know. Who'd you vote for? I think that's how the science is. It doesn't matter. Anyway, here we go. 3 baby mamas plus 4 baby mamas equals 7 baby mamas. Let's get total inventory of all of the transactions here. $33,000 owed to that baby mama, $30,000 owed to that baby mama, $30,000 owed to, oh my gosh. In conclusion, are you ready? Somebody found the V with the D. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Male seahorses can. All right, we got male seahorse child support liens apparently. So, in conclusion, are you ready for this? $150,000 in potential profit. But then we found $190,000 in unpaid child support. What does that mean? 150 minus 190 equals 150,000 in potential profit minus 190 equals Pharaoh fun. How many? What's our new potential profit? What's a positive 150 minus a negative 190? We don't want to see what's behind door number one. If we buy this asset, we lose $40,000. There are more unpaid child support liens attached to this asset than there is profit. Told you word potential 100%. That's why it's there. Yes. So if we buy this asset, we lose $40,000. So when we find out that this guy's got 7 baby mamas, we're not going to move on that deal. So although this young man lacks the ability to pull out, we're going to pull out. Everybody in the comments say pull out. The conclusion on this deal, pull out. Pull out. Pull out. Pull out. Pull clearly. 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 No profit, no deal. Therefore, we pull out. So this is us learning how to find and evaluate a foreclosure in 5 steps or less. Pull out. Pull out. Yep. Pull out. Some of you, what? Did you really just type pull out in my comments? You know, TikTok can see your history of comments and like what you say, right? And then you're going to have on your historical record, pull out. TikTok's going to call you and it's going to say, what were you doing on his TikTok live that morning? What time was it? It was 8:50 a.m. Central Time and you just typed pull out, wrap it up, don't even put in? Like what are we doing here? Good morning. Good morning. Can you give me a cup of coffee first? Oh my gosh. Good morning. If you're new here, my name is Will. We go live all the time. We learn how to buy assets that produce profit. If you want to hang out with us every day, just come up here and tap on the follow button. We go live all the time. I don't speak Chinese. Good morning, Craig. If you didn't get a chance and you want my free training behind the scenes of the Passive Income Club, Morning D will get you. Let's go. I want storage. If you want my free training behind the scenes of the Passive Income Club, just say me in the comments. I will email it to you for free. I'll text it to you for free, whatever you want. Just say me in the comments. This is a little bit of preview of the stuff that we learn about how to find assets that produce profit, all the stuff. I've got a free training where I take you behind the scenes of the Passive Income Club. I show you the inner workings. I show you some of the members of how we buy assets, all that good stuff, even some of the secret tools that we use. So if you want access to that training, I'll send it to you for free. Just say me in the comments. We're going to go to other assets. I'm going to teach you a variety of different assets that we can buy. I'll even show you how to find the money to buy the assets. He's put the D in debt. What if there's a second or third mortgage? We run the numbers. We evaluate every deal. Great question. It's me. Okay, so if you want to register for the free training, I'll email it to you. I'll get it to you today. Just go down here and tap on the orange button. Boop. When you tap on the orange button, you see where it says Passive Income Club? Just tap on that guy. When it pops up, you can put in your email or your phone number or both, whatever you prefer. So just tap on the orange bubble down here. Cool? +1 bean dip. Let's go. Once you tap on that, put in your email. There's a little button. It looks like this. And then once you're done, say done. And then just keep an eye on your email later on today. I'll probably send you a first email to make sure you got it. So just respond to that first email. Like, got it. I love you. You're so handsome. Like something like that. Just so the internets know that we're good to go. Awesome. Sauce. Yeah. Don't be weird. Don't be weird. Good morning. Good morning. All right, let's get to other assets. Come over here. Let me teach you some of this game. Good to see you, by the way. Good morning. If you're new here, let me know in the comments where you're tuning in from. Let me know where you're tuning in from. What part of the globe are you in? My name is Wet Willie. I'm in Texas. Yeehaw. Good morning. Good morning. Let me show you some of the game. Alabama. Good morning, Alabama. The land and the floating part, California. How many ice vending machines I've seen on my vacation? Lots. We're getting ready to place one. I can't tell you where yet. We're going through the preliminary stuff. But state of confusion, let's go, Craig. We're getting ready to place another ice vending machine. We've done a couple in Missouri, too, believe it or not. North Carolina, Arkansas, the Ozarks, some in Georgia. Now we're going to look at some other, Phoenix, Arizona. I don't know why anybody would live in Phoenix, but ice machines can do really well there. North Carolina, good morning. My name is Will. I'm in Texas. It's nice to meet you. We learn how to buy assets that produce profit and maximize our tax savings. So if you're new here and you want to hang out with us, just tap on the follow button somewhere up here. Let me teach you one of my favorite things to cover. You ready? Good morning, Reno, Nevada. One of my favorite things to cover is one of the things that brings Jason maximum pain. So let's talk about this. In the chat, let me know, what cost us, what do we spend the most money on over our lifetime? Let's brainstorm together. What are the things that we spend the most money on over our lifetime? How many of you think it's your kids? Say kids. How many of you think it's like rent or mortgage? Food. Okay, food's actually really good example. Food. What do we spend the most money on? Food, housing. Greg says women. I see child support liens in your future. You didn't know I was a psychic, did you? Child support liens, that's what you're getting. Kids, rent, vacation. Yeah, Jason was on vacation for like 6 weeks. Like, Jason, are you at home? He says, I'm in Florida. Annie Queen, good morning, Annie Queen. How many of you spend too much money on Annie Queen? Oh my gosh, so much money being spent on her. She says, no, keep it coming. Water. Here's what you actually spend too much money on. Let me show you. Check this out. Every time you get paid, it's a good place to be. But what tax is that called? Every time you get paid, what tax is that called? Let me know in the comments. So you receive your income. Before you get your income, somebody reaches into the pot and they take some of that cash out. What is that called? That's called income tax. Everybody type income. So you get paid, and then Uncle Sam takes a cut. It's not a lot, it's just a little bit. Don't worry, you're not going to notice. So he gets his income tax. And then with whatever's left over, you got to go buy some stuff. You got to take Vero out for coffee and wine and food and all this stuff. You got to go buy some stuff. And when you get to the bottom of the receipt, what tax is that called? What is it? I'm already sweating. Jason, deep breath. What is it called? At the bottom of the receipt. What tax is that called? All of the above, baby. James, that's called sales tax. Now, you've already paid income tax. They don't care. You got to go fund the other stuff. It's just a little bit. You're not even going to notice. You're going, ah! Jason starts to freak out. He's already panicking. That's how Jason sounds when he's like thinking about all the taxes that he pays. So Jason's in panic mode. Because he's paid income tax and because he's paid sales tax, he goes, I got to get out of here. So Jason jumps into his car. He's going to go home. If I just get home, the tax man can't get me. Trying to outrun the tax man. Well, when Jason gets in his car, he realizes that because he bought his car, he paid sales tax when he purchased it. And then he also lives in a state where he has to pay property tax every year because he owns the car. If you live in a state where you pay property tax on your car, type your state in the comments. I live in Texas. I don't have property tax on my vehicle, but if you do live in a state, let me know. What state? Missouri, you pay property tax on your vehicle? Minnesota, you pay property tax on your vehicle every year. Virginia? South Carolina, do y'all have property tax on your vehicles? Connecticut, property tax. Missouri, Jason's freaking out. He goes, I gotta get home. He hits the accelerator. He's flying down the highway. And he realizes that he's a little low on the go juice. He looks at the dash, the light comes on. He's gotta pull into the station. When he pulls into the station and he starts to pump it up, what tax is that called? Let me know in the comments. What tax is it called when you put the go juice in the vehicle? 1 gallon, 2 gallons. It's called gasoline tax or fuel tax. And it's just a little bit. It's not a big deal. It's just a little bit. Just a little bit. It's fine. It's not a big deal. So then whatever's left over, he's got to live on. Jason's freaking out. He goes, I just got to get home. If I just get home, Uncle Sam can't get to me. If I just outrun the tax man, he'll never catch me. So he gets home, locks the doors. Wait a minute. He looks down. He notices there's a property appraisal letter from the county. How generous of them to appraise his property. What tax is that called when you own a house? That is ridiculous for states to legally steal their residents for automobile. Isn't that crazy? What tax is that called because you own a house? What tax do you pay? Why did they appraise his property? Were they just being considerate and nice for their citizens? They wanted to appraise the value for property tax. So with the leftover money that Jason paid, let's just go this way now. He has to pay a little bit of property tax. That's all. So now Jason paid his property tax, and he's freaking out. Oh my gosh, I'm paying so much in taxes. Let me at least look at my investments. So Jason looks at his investments, and his investments had a gain. They went up in value. What tax is that called? Benjamin turned into Ben. He's about to turn into Buh. What tax is that called when your investments go up? Let me know in the comments. He had a gain on his investments, and the IRS wants to tax it. That's called capital gains tax. Oh my gosh! Now his Benjamin's a Buh. The most money that you ever spend in your lifetime is on taxes. You spend more money in taxes than the next three combined, almost combined in doubles. You spend more money on taxes than you do your rent or your mortgage, your groceries and food cost, and your healthcare combined. Almost combined and doubled. Therefore, if we're going to focus on reducing some expenses to find extra money, to then use that extra money to buy our freedom of time, we're going to focus on the number one expense, which is taxes. Everybody understand why. Type T in the chat for taxes. You spend more money on taxes in your lifetime than any other expense. So we could spend time cutting coupons to save on like a gallon of milk, or we can spend time finding tax law strategies that we can implement to pull down our taxable income. If you're new here, my name is Will. I go live all the time and I teach you what I did to get financially free at 29. We learn how to buy assets and maximize tax savings. I own a CPA tax firm. We specialize in helping people save on taxes. I'm going to teach you some of the things that we show our clients right now. Cool? I thought it was a Starbucks. Good morning. Ironically, T was the tax. We drew the line, how far we've come. I think we've missed the plot, right? We lost the plot somewhere along the way. Good morning. Yeah. Time to go. Have a good day, Greg. Yeah, Donnie Ballgame. Hers is the Starbucks. Hers is the coffee. So let's walk over here. Let me walk you through a couple of concepts that you can implement on tax savings, on tax strategies. I'm going to show you some of this, and I'm also going to give you some questions that you can use to interview a CPA. How many of you would find value in that? Just say me in the comments. What if I give you, I've interviewed at least 100 CPAs in my career. I own a CPA tax firm. I've talked to a lot of tax accountants over my career. What if I could give you some strategies that you can use to pull down your, me? Okay, let me give you some questions that you can ask your CPA, your tax person, when you're interviewing them to see if they're actually going to help you save on taxes or if they're just blowing smoke up your butt. And then we're going to get to quite a few things. So question number one, everybody type 1 in the chat. Type 1 in the comments as I pull this up. Type 1 in the comments. Question number 1, I'm going to give you like 5 questions. These are the questions that I ask when I interview a CPA or tax person. Question number 1, knowing what you know about my situation, where am I leaving tax savings on the table? Question number 1, do you train? I'm a taxpayer. I do a lot of training. We'll do some continuing education stuff in too. If you're a tax preparer, hang out with us right now. I'm going to teach you a lot of cool stuff. I recommend that you bring tax advisory, tax planning to your firm instead of just tax preparation. So question number 1, when I interview a CPA, a tax planner, a tax preparer, knowing what you know about my situation, where am I leaving tax savings on the table? Write this down, screen record, take notes. Knowing what you know about my situation, where am I leaving tax savings on the table? This judges in real time their ability to do tax planning, to find tax saving strategies. If they do this all the time, they'll be able to answer that easily. If they stutter and stammer and go, and they don't really give you a fulfilling answer, they don't do tax planning. They can't help you find tax savings. Question, knowing what you know about my situation, where am I leaving tax savings on the table? That's question number 1. Cool? All right. Let's do this. I will open up. Let me do a timer. Okay, so I'm going to set a 27-minute timer. For 27 minutes, I'm going to leave open free tax savings estimation calls. I'm going to teach you tax saving strategies. I'm going to show you some things that you can do. I'm also going to teach you questions that you need to bring to your accountants that you're interviewing if you want to find out if they're going to help you save on taxes. And then for 27 minutes and 27 minutes only, I'm going to open up the doors to book a free tax savings estimate call with myself or my team. If you want to do that, you've got 27 minutes while I teach. After 27 minutes, I'm closing the door. You can't get in. Because it's free, it fills up. When it fills up, I can't take any more capacity. Cool? Makes sense? Good morning. And if you want to save your spot, here's how you would do it. And then we're going to get into a couple of different deals that you can do. So to save your spot for 26 minutes and 20 seconds, go to my TikTok profile. Good morning, Jay. In my TikTok profile, there's my site. When you tap on the site where it says free tax savings call, that's where you can save your spot. Cool? Did you just try following me? No, I'm right here. I did not just try following you. It's probably a fake account pretending to be me. Stay safe. So to book a free tax savings call for 26 minutes, TikTok profile, tap on the site. When it pops up, free tax savings call. Cool? All right, let's get into this. How many of you want to buy assets to put on your taxable income? Type A in the chat. How many of you want to buy assets to put on your taxable income? Type A in the chat. Let me give you an example. I'll be honest with you. There was an account that had your picture. I didn't follow it back. It's not me. Thank you for being honest with me. It's not me. There's fake accounts all over the place. They download my content. They pretend to be me. They message you and they ask you to send them feet pictures. I will never message you asking for feet pictures. Everybody in the chat, type feet if you hear me. Then we're getting into tax savings. I will never, hear me, ask you for feet pictures. Jason, on the other hand, might. He might do that. Feet. Let's go. Let's go. We got everybody in here saying feet. It's not so. There's fake accounts. Stay safe. Let's get into this. This is one of our clients. She earned $360,000 in income, which is awesome. What are feet pictures? Oh, my brother, is today your first day on the internet? Welcome. Welcome. You are so safe and naive. Why don't you come under my wings and let's keep you protected? $360,000 is the income that this person earned. That's awesome. What's not so awesome is the tax bill. Everybody say, ouch. Ah! Yeah, VeroFund. If you hang out with VeroFund too long, you will get feet pictures. Be cautious. $146,000 is their tax bill. Everybody say, ouch. Oh my gosh. So she calls me. She says, Will. She goes, I've watched your TikTok live a lot. I've learned a lot from you. And I'm like, that's sweet of you. Thank you. She goes, I need your help. I go, what's going on? She goes, well, I've got good news and bad news. She goes, the bad news is I owe Uncle Sam $146,000. I said, I said, that is bad news. She goes, why are you laughing? I go, I'm not. I was eating a Pop-Tart, and I got a Pop-Tart stuck in my throat. What's going on? I go, that's bad news. I'm sorry to hear that. What's the good news? She goes, the good news is I've got the cash for the tax bill. I said, wow, that is good news. That's great news. I go, why don't you just send the money to Uncle Sam? She goes, stop it. I go, what? She goes, I'm calling you because I want your help. Is there anything I can do to lower my taxable income? Come here. The only thing worse is a tax fetish. This is getting off the rails, isn't it, Logan? This is getting off the rails. So come over here. Let me teach you principle number one. Principle number one. When does a tax year begin? January 1. Everybody type 1 in the chat. When does a tax year begin? Everybody type 1 in the chat. You start earning income. Whether you earn income via 1099 or W-2, you're earning. This is going to log on your 2026 taxable income. IRS goes, hey, they're making money. When does a tax year end? Let me know in the comments. When does it end? Give me a date in the chat. If it starts January 1st, 2026, when does it conclude? That's correct. December 31st. So if she owes $146,000 to Uncle Sam, and she calls me right here, let's say in June, type Y for yes, type N for no. Does she have enough time to do something about her tax bill? Y for yes, N for no. Y for yes, N for no. Does she have enough time to affect her tax bill? Yes. If she calls me over here, or over here, or over here, or over here, or in 2029, or in 2064, yes or no? Does she have enough time to affect her tax bill? Yes or no? She calls me 15 years from now, going, Will. No. Lesson. It is August 12th. Do you have time Yes or no? Lesson. It is August 12th. Do you have time? Then you better do something about it. And I'm going to teach you some of the things that you can do live right now. You've got 21 minutes. I opened up free tax savings estimation calls. If you want to book a tax savings call with myself or my team, you can do that for 21 minutes. When the timer runs out, you snooze, you lose. Let's get rid of her tax bill now. If you need help booking a call, just say help in the chat. They're free while they're available. 21 minutes and 30 seconds. So $146,000 tax bill. The good news is I got the money. The bad news is I got a tax bill. I go, well, let's do some stuff. So we implemented tax strategies. It wasn't one thing, it was all things. We hired her kids in her business, which I'm going to show you how to do. We implemented the Augusta rule, deducting expenses that previously wasn't deducting, having a home office deduction, the accountable plan, converting to an S Corp, getting on payroll, reasonable compensation, so on and so forth. It wasn't one strategy, it was all strategies. And I'm going to show you some of these now. In conclusion, her $146,000 tax bill went away. Bye-bye. She doesn't owe that tax bill anymore. Previously, she would have paid it. But then she had enough time between June and December 31st, and she started implementing tax strategies. When it was all said and done, she didn't owe that tax bill anymore. Additionally, the quarterly estimated payments that she was making to the IRS for withholding through the year, she got some, not all, she got some of that money back. In conclusion, she's now sitting on $163,000 in cash. She calls me. She goes, Will, first of all, thank you. You helped me save on my taxes. I go, you're welcome. Underwriter Ron loves money, man. Good morning. I go, you're welcome. She goes, question number 2, what do I do with the money? I go, what are you talking about? She goes, I got this tax savings. They gave me a refund. I've got $163,000 cash. I was planning on paying the tax bill, but I don't owe a tax bill anymore. What do I do with the money? I go, you can take me on vacation. We can go to Houston to see one of my baby mamas. She said, what? I go, no, never mind. I go, what do you want to do? She goes, well, you talk about assets. Can we do some asset stuff? I say, girl, I got you. So then what we do is we take her tax savings and we start identifying assets. We find a self-storage facility listed for $370,000. The NOI, everybody type NOI, net operating income, NOI. Net operating income. NOI. The net operating income is $41,000. NOI is the profit from an asset or a business before you get debt. So this self-storage facility has income directly from the customers to rent the self-storage units. Then it has expenses, electricity and water and rent and so on and so forth. Then you subtract out all the expenses. That's your net operating income. You get a little bit of debt. So she takes her tax savings. She uses that as a down payment to buy the storage facility. After she pays for her mortgage, her profit after all expenses is $25,000 a year. So she takes her tax savings one time, turns it into an asset that pays her for a lifetime. This is the game. How many of you want to learn how to do this? Type Y for yes. How many of you are like, nah, I've heard poverty can be fun. Type N for no. She takes tax savings from 1 year, one time. She turns it into an asset that pays her every year for a lifetime. That's the name of the game. This is what your accountant should be talking to you about. This is what your CPA, your tax person, these are the conversations. Cool? Over and over and over again. Good morning. I'm going to get deeper into this game. I'm going to show you how we play it. You've got 18 minutes. I opened up free tax savings calls. If you didn't get a chance to book a spot, I'm going to show you how to do that now. You've got, must be nice to be in a cheap place, no storage units, less than $1 million here. We'll address that comment in a second. You've got 17 minutes and 50 seconds. I own a CPA tax firm. If you want to talk to myself or my team and estimate tax savings for free, you got 17 minutes to book a spot. My main TikTok profile, you see my site? Tap on the site right here. When you tap on it, it pops up. For 17 minutes, this will be available. After that time runs out, I'm going to pull it down. Cool? I have to limit the availability because I can't handle the demand on the free tax savings estimate calls. Happy to help. If I can find savings, I'll show you. Cool? So get to my main TikTok profile by tapping on my green face. There's a green face in the top corner here. When you tap on that, it'll pop up again. Alex says, it must be nice to be in a cheap place. No storage units less than $1 million here. If you live in an area that's expensive, type E in the chat. How many of you live in an expensive area? Just type E. Miami, New York City, New Jersey, San Francisco, Los Angeles, Austin, Texas, Houston, Texas, Dallas, Texas, Annie Queen, Canada. How many of you live in an expensive area? What is more important? To buy your next door neighbor's house or to make sure the direct deposit shows up in the right bank account? If you think it's buying your next door neighbor's house, type in for next door neighbor. If you think it's direct depositing to your bank account, type B. What is more important? Buying where you live, your next door neighbor's house, type in, or making sure the direct deposit account shows up to your bank account? Type B. Which one's more important? Just because you live in an expensive area doesn't mean you have to buy in an expensive area. I don't know where you learned this from, but your name of a game is to buy profit. If profit doesn't exist where you live, then don't buy where you live. Cool? Make sense? I also wouldn't buy in non-landlord friendly states where the cost of eviction is high. The state of New York, the state of California, very expensive. Cool? Does that make sense? You've eliminated yourself from playing the game simply because of where you live? That's weird. Awesome. Good morning. So, tax savings calls, 15 minutes, and then they're gone. How many of you want to pull down your taxable income? If you're a business owner, type B. If you're an employee, type E in the chat. Business owner, type B. Employee, type E. You tell me which direction we go on the next tax strategy. Wheeler Entertainment, good morning. Business owner. Diego, good morning. Tree Frog, good morning. Employee. Alex, business owner. Betty, business owner. All right, let's go to business owner, then we'll go to employee. I'll show you how Ray's one of our passive income club members. Ray bought an asset, pulled down his W-2, employee income. I'll show you how to do that. Let's go to business owners first, and I'll walk you through one of the most common questions I get. Both, let's go. So one of the most common questions I get for business owners is, when does it make sense to become an S corporation? There's a lot of questions on the internet about becoming an S corporation. Let's address trying to get a business going. Let's go. Let's address the question. I'll explain why they talk about S corporation being tax savings. And even if you are an S corporation, I'll show you how to dial it in to get even more tax benefit. So let's take John as a sole proprietorship. So if you have an LLC, type L. If you earn money via 1099, type 1099. If you have a S corporation, type S. If you have a C corporation, type C. Let me kind of get inventory of the business owners on what type of business you have. If you have no idea what's going on, but you're earning some income on the side or a business, just type X. It's okay not to know. And then in a minute, I'll get to my question number 2 of when I interview a CPA or tax planner to work at my firm, what are the questions that I ask them? LLC, S corporation, I have no idea, X, 1099. Okay, let's go through this right now. Let's compare 2 different businesses. Rental properties, car rentals, X, but working towards LLC, love it, love it. E and B, also LLC, S, 1099, okay, cool. Watch this. So let's take 2 businesses. We're gonna take John's businesses and Stacy's business. Bud Chug, good morning, Bud Chug. $145,000 in profit, $145,000 in profit. Let's say you're 1099, you're gonna be over here. Just an LLC, no S corporation tax status, you're gonna be over here. If you have no idea what's going on and money's just kind of showing up when you run your business, you're probably over here. More Americans are on this side, so this is probably gonna be you. Cool? Corporate housing, home care agencies, awesome. So let's say your profit is $145,000. The problem is all of your profit is exposed to self-employment tax. Self-employment tax includes Medicare and Social Security. That's a 15.3% tax. 15.3% times $145,000 in profit means your self-employment tax is going to be $22,000. Everybody type 22 in the chat. Type 22 in the chat. Just self-employment tax is $22,000, and that's not income tax. Self-employment tax is Social Security and Medicare. $22,000 just to that. Why? Because as a sole prop, 1099, LLC, all of your profit is exposed. The change is when you become an S corporation, a couple of different things happen. Number 1, you become an employee inside of a business that you now own. You have to pay yourself a paycheck. You're going on payroll. Well, you have to pay yourself a salary. They call that reasonable compensation. It's the legal minimum you must pay yourself in salary as an employee inside of a business you own. So you've got the same $145,000 profit before, but now you pay yourself a paycheck. The only thing subject to self-employment tax inside of an S corporation is your paycheck. So if your reasonable compensation is $45,000 a year, 45,000 times 15.3% self-employment tax means your self-employment tax is only $6,885, not $22,000. This business making the same profit saves $15,000 a year. Everybody understand this? What? Type A in the chat. I did an S corp, but I had to dissolve it. I believe I set it up wrong, and I did it with my accountant. Rosanna, we can take a look at that. If you need tax savings help, I've got my free tax savings calls for 11 minutes. They're free, but only while they're available. If you didn't get a chance and you want to book a free tax savings call, you got 11 minutes to do it. When the timer runs out, it goes away. Cool? So when you're in my TikTok profile, here's what I would do. Tap on my site. When the site pops up, it's going to say free tax savings call. This will be available for 10 minutes or 11 minutes. Just go to my green face up here, tap once, tap on the green face again, then it takes you here. Cool? All right, let's keep going. S corporation. So that remaining $100,000 of profit is exempt from self-employment tax. You do not pay 15.3% on that remaining $100,000. So an S corporation saves you on self-employment tax because instead of all of your profit being exposed to self-employment tax, it's only the reasonable compensation salary you pay yourself. Now there's a rule of thumb. My CPA said I don't make enough to have an S corp and I would lose money opening one. Maybe, let's talk about that. One of the rules of thumb of converting to an S corporation is a profit threshold. The general rule of thumb is a profit threshold of about $50,000 a year. If you're a business owner and you make profit of $50,000 or more, just say me in the chat. If you're not there yet, just say no. It's okay either way. And let me explain why this exists and why Swiper47 CPA might say that. If you have $50,000 in profit or more, say me. If you're not there yet, all good, just say no. Tree Frog, no. How many of you are over $50,000 in profit? Just say me. Nelly, let's go. No, no. So when you become an S corporation, here's what happens. Me, no. Okay, when you become an S corporation, you have to file new tax forms. You file the 1120S. Your accountant, whoever your tax professional is, may charge you a separate filing fee to file that form. In order to file the 1120S, you have to submit your books, your profit loss statement, your P&L, and your balance sheet. In order to have books, you have to pay for a software to run the numbers. That software costs money. You might have to hire a bookkeeper to do that for you. That also costs money. When you're an S corporation, you legally have to pay yourself a paycheck. That means you're on payroll. To have a payroll provider also costs money. All of these things are adding up, and there is a cost to become an S corporation. That's why there's a profit tipping point. The golden rule of tax planning is the savings of tax planning needs to outweigh the cost of implementing the plan. So if you switch to an S corporation, you're now taxed as an S corporation, you have payroll expenses, you have 1120S filing expenses, you've got bookkeeping expenses. These are your costs. Does the tax savings from lowering your self-employment tax outweigh it? That only happens at certain profit levels because the self-employment tax is multiplied times your profit. Does this make sense? Type Y for yes, type N for no. So if you're over $50,000 in profit, that's usually when it makes sense to have that conversation with your accountant, to start that conversation and talking about it, because that's where the tipping point comes in. The savings is going to be greater than the cost. Cool? And if you want to talk about that, that's why I have the free tax savings calls. You've got 7 minutes. If you want to book a free tax savings call with myself or my team, it's only 7 minutes left. To get there, go to my TikTok profile, tap on my site. When the site pops up, it says free tax savings call. When the timer runs out, you snooze, you lose. I'm going to go pull this down. If you want it, go save your spot. But here's more. This is Jason's favorite part. The cool thing about the S corporation is it does help you lower your self-employment tax. It opens up some other doors for you as well. But according to the IRS's own data, sole proprietorships and LLCs have an audit rate of 3.2%. That means every 100 businesses that file as an LLC or sole prop, which is a majority of Americans, 3% of them, 3.2 of 100 people, are audited. Not fun, painful. However, S corporations, according to the IRS's own data, their audit rate is as low as 0.1. Historically, the lowest it's ever been is 0.05. Now, I'm no math major, but being an S corporation reduces your audit risk by 96.4%. I showed my work. What? I'm not saying you switch to an S corporation to protect yourself more from audit. What I am saying is one of the extra benefits of being an S corporation is your audit risk goes way down. So this is actually a strategy for tax savings and tax planning, but there's extra benefits that go along with it. Oh my gosh. Okay, how many of you want to talk about hiring your kids in your business? Type K in the chat. Or should we talk about getting assets, employees or business owners, getting assets will help you on taxes? Type A. If you want to talk about kids, type K. If you want to talk about assets, type A. I'll teach you how to hire your kids in your business. I'll show you the tax law, all that stuff. What do you want to do next? Assets. Okay, assets looks like the winner. We don't have much time, so let me get into it. Here we go. Assets. Okay, if we get time, Betty, we'll get to hiring your kids. If I get time, but assets looks like the overwhelming winner. You've got 5 minutes and 50 seconds. Just fair warning. When the timer runs out, the timer runs out. So let's take Ray. This is a real life story. Ray's one of our clients. He wanted to go out there and buy assets. He had a big tax bill. Ray's a full-time employee. So if you're an employee, type E in the chat. I want you to pay attention. If you're an employee, type E in the comments. Ray's a full-time employee, making good money. Ray's 2023 income as an employee was here. 2024 income was here. 2025 income landed a big government contract for his employer. It doubled the size of the company. The company said, you know what? We're going to hook Ray up with a big bonus. Ray loved that idea. Then he started calculating the taxes he was going to have to pay on that bonus. Oh! He calls me. He goes, Will. I go, hello? Will. Ray, is that you? Yes. I go, are you okay? You need help? No. I mean, yes. I go, Ray, what's going on? He goes, oh my gosh, I'm going to get destroyed by Uncle Sam. Then he told me what was going on. So here's how it works. When Ray is going to get his bonus in 2025, everything above the pencil is going to be taxed at the 37% rate. That's crazy. So $100,000 taxed at 37% means how much does Ray have to send to Uncle Sam? Which 37% per 100,000. How much is that as a tax bill? Let me know in the comments. We got to be quick, we're running out of time. How much is it? $37,000, kind of Mike. Every $100,000 in Ray's bonus, $37,000 of that goes to Uncle Sam. No wonder he's panicking. He goes, I'm going to fund the government all on my own. He goes, Will, is there anything that I can do to lower my taxes? I go, well, you're an employee. There's not much. Do you want to own a business or do you want to buy assets? He goes, I've always been interested in Airbnbs. I go, awesome. I go, tell me more. He goes, well, I've been looking at this. I can do this. I do this. I want to go all this stuff. So we find an Airbnb. If you buy assets, you can add up, you can add up components of those assets and subtract it from your taxes. You can't subtract the dirt, but you can subtract some of the elements, the electrical, the HVAC system, all that kind of stuff. So that's what Ray does. He goes out there. This is his post in the Passive Income Club. He finds an asset like an Airbnb. How many of you are interested in Airbnbs? Type A in the chat for Airbnb. You want to buy short-term rental properties? Just type A. So he finds it. He places an offer on it. Yes, I do, sir. Let's go, Betty. I love it. He wants to buy an Airbnb. He does it. He makes an offer. They accept. He buys it. So that was funny. You can't subtract the dirt. No, you can't subtract the dirt. That's right. Well, then we do something called a cost segregation study. Very simple. We add up all the stuff that we can accelerate into the first year. So Ray buys the Airbnb this year. He places it in service this year. Then he accelerates all of the things that he can subtract from his taxes in the first year. How we figure that stuff out is we do a cost segregation study. This is literally behind the scenes of the cost segregation study. This is the tax document that we would use to file when we're going to file for the cost seg study. The electrical systems, electrical utility service, the amperage, all that stuff coming to the house, there's a value to that. We subtract that value from his taxable income. HVAC systems, fire protection systems, there's a value to that. We subtract that from his taxes. So on and so forth. This is the actual cost segregation study. $126,000. He can take that number if he chooses to and accelerate that on his tax return. If he had $126,000 in income and he subtracted $126,000 in deductions, what is Ray's taxable income? Let me know in the comments. 126 minus 126 equals what? What's his taxable income? No matter what tax rate Ray is at, anything times 0 equals 0.26 equals 0. There's nothing left to tax. 20% tax rate times $100,000 saves Ray's $20,000. Times 30% saves, wait a minute, we can't get nothing from nothing, so it's nothing. Exactly. So this is what Ray did. You've got 1 minute and 30 seconds. If you want to sit down with myself or my team and estimate tax savings, you can book your free call for 1 minute and 30 seconds. I'm going to give you another question to use to interview a CPA in a second. But this is the total flow. Tax savings prior, some of the things that we did, use that to buy an asset. That asset produces profit, and it also generates its own tax savings. You can zero out your taxable income. You can pay nothing in taxes by acquiring assets over and over and over again. If you didn't get a chance to book your call, you've got 1 minute and 5 seconds to get to my TikTok profile before I pull it down. Go to my site. When my site pops up, it'll say free tax savings call. To get there, there's a green face in the top corner of the TikTok live sum up here. Tap on the green face once. It'll pop up. Tap on it again. Cool? You have less than a minute. TikTok profile, tap on the site, go get registered, then I'm going to close it. A couple of questions on this. Regardless of what your income is, like you chip away at it significantly. If, let's say you have $300,000 in taxable income, why did it just work but now it doesn't work? $300,000 in taxable income, and then you accelerate depreciation. Now you have $200,000 in taxable income. You do not pay tax on that $100,000. So if you have $300,000 in taxable income, you want to go out there and buy an asset and it generates a $300,000 year one deduction, there's nothing left to tax. There's no limit to this. I didn't get time today. Our timer's running out. I'm going to go pull it down. I didn't get time today, but we had a guy bought a mobile home park in Florida. I think it was going to be like $3.4 million in taxes. Doesn't have to pay it. Doesn't there need to be some taxable income for the lender approval? So now you're great question. Now the concern becomes, how many of you are worried about lending? Type L in the chat. If on my 1040 tax return, I don't show any profit because I've deducted everything, how am I going to qualify for any loan types? This is a common misconception. There's different ways to do it, but let me give you an example. Let's say on my tax return, I've got nothing. And you take it to a lender, they go, I'm not lending you anything. That's with traditional lending. But there's other loan types. You can do something called a bank statement loan. That's one example. They don't even look at your tax returns. You can do what's called a DSCR loan. They qualify the asset. They look at the house. They look at the rental property. They look at the storage facility. They qualify the asset. They don't even request your tax returns. In my passive income club, it's my private group that I run, I had a lender come in. Her name is Veronica. I had her come in and I said, Veronica, you have a no tax return loan type program, right? She goes, yeah. I go, what is that? She goes, Will, it's very simple. I don't need to see your tax returns. I go, that's cool. I go, what's the most amount of money you've ever lent to somebody and never seen their tax returns? In the chat, let me know. What do you think? Veronica is a lender. She lends money to people that want to buy assets. I said, what's the most amount of money you've ever lent to somebody without looking at their tax returns? Let me know in the comments. Give me your best guess. The timer's out. If you didn't get a chance to book your free tax savings call, I'm going to go pull it down. I love you. But give me your number. What do you think? What's the most amount of money she's ever lent to somebody without putting eyes on their tax return? How much? $2 million. Veronica, $2 million. I don't need to see your tax return. Think about this. Think about it for example. Great point, human ordeal. If you have an asset, let's say somebody approaches us and they say, Veronica, what is your minimal? Can you add in repair value as well? For sure. There's a lot of different ways to get lending, and it doesn't have to do with your tax return. There are situations where it would make sense to pay more taxes. What? What did he say? Everybody type T in the chat for taxes. I'll show you in a minute 1 or 2 examples of when it makes sense to pay more taxes. We'll talk about that. Why do DSCR lenders ask for personal income documents in history? Depends on which DSCR lender you're working with. Like, let's just go very basic on this. Let's go very basic. Let's reverse engineer all this. Let's get to the core of this, then that'll answer all the questions. Let's say somebody approaches us and they say, hey, can you lend me money to buy this asset? Well, what would we ask them? We would want to know the value of the asset. If the asset is worth $1 million on a bad day, let's just say $1 million. Bad day, rainy day, terrible economy, $1 million easy. Let's say on a good day, it's worth $3 million. Well, they're asking us to borrow money. If they go, listen, I only need to borrow some money to buy this asset, and if you lend me money on this asset, I will give you first lien position. That means that we own it, but we're going to give them money. And if for whatever reason they violate the contract, so we write a contract and they violate the contract, like stop paying us, and like stop paying us for an extended period of time, that means that we can begin the foreclosure process and we can take our asset back. So let's say that we can get first lien position on $1 million property and they only want to borrow $10. So our risk is $10. But what we get is a contractual lien against $1 million property. And if they don't pay us back our $10 and they mess something up, we now own $1 million property. How many of you would take this risk? Say me in the chat. Would you take a risk of giving somebody $10 to have first lien position, and if they make a mistake, you now have got $1 million? Yes or no? Yes or no? Would you take that risk? Now, I grossly over-exaggerated this example to make it overwhelmingly obvious. When the numbers start to get closer, that's where you create a profession called underwriting. Underwriting is the art and the science of evaluating assets. Somebody said, no, this was an IQ test. An IQ test. I would take a $10 risk to get $1 million asset. Okay? If this numbers get closer, would you lend $900,000? Well, now I really need to look at these numbers. I need more information. That's called underwriting. Now I need to, but I don't need to even know about the person. I didn't even ask you about the person I'm lending to. What if they're a crackhead? Doesn't matter. This situation, that's qualifying the asset. That's a DSCR loan, debt service coverage ratio. Can the asset take care of itself? Furthermore, if I get a little bit deeper into this, what if the asset generates $10,000 a month? Cool. Now the asset's going to pay for the debt. That's the debt service coverage ratio, which is literally the acronym DSCR, debt service coverage ratio. Does the asset produce enough income to service the debt? Service the debt. Cool? Make sense? Awesome. If you're new here, my name is Will. We learn how to buy assets that produce profit. I go live all the time. Anyone in Massachusetts, let's go! I go live all the time and we learn how to buy assets at cashflow. I'm going to get back into more asset acquisition stuff. I'm going to give you question number 2. I own a CPA tax firm, and if you want to learn how I interview CPAs, I'm going to teach you question number 2. So everybody in the comments, type 2. Question number 2. Good session right here. Glad I made it. Let's go. Happy to help. Question number 2. These are questions that I use when I interview CPAs to work in my tax firm. I've interviewed over 100 accountants, and I'm going to teach you some of the questions that I ask. These are questions that you should be asking. Diego, happy to help. Okay, so question number 2. I've already given you question number 1. Question number 2. What potential legislative changes could have an impact on my tax situation? Question number 2 when I interview CPAs. What potential legislative changes could have an impact on my tax situation? So I own a CPA tax firm. When I'm interviewing them, I send them an example client. Hey, this is John Smith. Here's a sample tax return. Here's some sample tax documents. What potential legislative changes could impact John Smith's example? What could happen? What this does is this judges their ability to do tax planning in the future, which is where you pay taxes. The things you do today are going to affect your tax bill in April 2027. So the question number 2 is what potential legislative changes could impact my tax situation? So when you're interviewing an accountant to work with you and to help you save on taxes, these are the questions that you would ask them. They're the same questions that I ask when I interview CPAs. I just don't give them my tax return because I'm hiring them to work for me. I send them sample stuff, but same thing. What potential legislative changes are coming that would affect my tax situation? Can they not only plan with current rules, but can they plan for the future? Cool? Makes sense? All right, let's get into it. Asset acquisition. If you're new here, my name is Will. We learn how to buy assets at Cashflow. This is our overall philosophy. We buy assets that produce passive income. Passive income, when greater than expenses, you're financially free. Jessica, I'm into it. Good morning, Jessica. Good to see you. So we buy assets. Those assets produce passive income. When greater than or equal to your expenses, you're financially free. That's it. If my personal living expenses are $5,000 a month, and I buy a rental property or a storage or a laundromat, and it gives me $1,000 a month in profit, how many assets do I need until I'm free? Let me know in the comments. Pop quiz. How many assets do I need until I'm free? You tell me, boss. How many rental properties that produce $1,000? Jay, retired. 5. You don't need 40 years. You don't need 1,000. You just need 5 assets. Instead of asking yourself the question, how many years until I can retire, we ask ourselves the question, how many assets must I acquire? That's our focus here. And then what we do is we evaluate these deals. Cool? So if you did get a chance to register, I've got a free training. It's a behind-the-scenes training of my private group, the Passive Income Club. We've got over 500 members all around the world actively learning how to find, evaluate, and buy assets. If you want me to send you that behind-the-scenes training of the Passive Income Club, just type PIC in the comments down below, and I'll show you how to get it for free. It takes you behind the scenes of our group. It shows you what we do, how we evaluate deals, how we look at them, all that kind of stuff. Just type PIC in the chat, and I'll send it to you for free. We're going to wind this down. We're going to land the plane of this TikTok live. I think we've been going live maybe 3 hours now. We're closing in on 3 hours. So we got to get out of here. PIC, let's go. Okay, to get it, it's really simple. Just put your email in. I'll email it to you later on. There's a little button down here. If you want me to send you the behind-the-scenes training, how we find assets, evaluate them, produce profit, tap on this guy somewhere in the corner. When it pops up, it'll say Passive Income Club. Tap on that button, put in your email or your phone number, whatever you prefer, and I will email it to you. I'll send it to you. Cool, if you want me to text you, put your number in, I'll text it to you, whatever you prefer. I'll get the training to you later today. I've got a meeting at 10 a.m. Central Time, so in 20 minutes. After that meeting, I'll get that email to you. Cool? Grease out, peace out, grease out, let's go. Oh my gosh, it's somewhere down here. Once you get done with that, just say done in the chat, but there's a little button down in the corner. When you tap on that, it'll pop up. Peace out, grease out. Let's go. Good morning. Did y'all see the wiggle? I can't believe I did the wiggle. Good morning. Oh my gosh. And then we're done. Let's go. PIC. Okay. It should be down in the corner. So in your TikTok live, you can see it down here. Just tap on the little orange bubble. When the orange bubble pops up, it says Passive Income Club. Just tap right there, and that's when I'll send you. That's where I'll send you the free training. Done. Dang, I missed it. Jessica, where were you? Jessica, I waited as long as I could. I got here. I was like, "Where's Jessica?" I was like, "It's getting later." And I was like, "Okay, guys, hold on. We'll start when Jessica gets here." And I looked at my watch. Jessica, you weren't here. I don't know. Oh my gosh. PIC wiggle. Oh no. Oh no. All right, I got to get out of here. I got to peace out, grease out. If you didn't get a chance, you want the free training, go grab it now. It says Passive Income Club. I'll email it to you. But I got to call it at 10 o'clock. I'm going to go grab, oh, well, thank you. You're so welcome. I got to go grab some coffee and get after it. Y'all have a great day. Later. Shelly's House of Speed. Ah! Shelly's coming to Texas. Can you believe this? Shelly's flying to Texas. She's in South Carolina. I'm in Texas. Do you think Shelly's going to visit me while she's here? Yes or no? It makes me sad. But that's okay. I'll remember that. I'll remember that. I think I'm going to plan a trip to go to everywhere in South Carolina except Charleston. I don't know. What? I got fam in Texas. Let's go. No, she's not coming to see me. Isn't that sad? Okay, Shirley. All right. Anyway, I got to go. You won't. Good morning. You're right. I won't. All right. Adios. I got to go. I got to peace out. Girl Scout. I'll catch you on the flip. We'll be live tomorrow morning around 7 a.m. Central Time. So if you want to be here tomorrow morning, just tap on the follow button. Set your alarm. 7 a.m. Central Time. Tomorrow morning. We're going to go live. How do I get a one-on-one with you? I do not have any more availability for one-on-ones. I am sold out. I love you. I love you. I appreciate that. That's very sweet. I would be happy to help you if I could. I just don't have any more capacity. Sold out. Hope to talk to you soon. Betty, are you the tax preparer? You were asking about tax preparation stuff? Is that you, Betty? Betty, if that's you, shoot me a message. Shoot me a message. Wait, you don't have more of you? This is all I got. This is all I got. I do not have more. Good morning. Good morning. Betty, is that you? Are you the tax preparer that you were asking questions about? All right, shoot me a message on if that's you, and just say like, I'm the tax preparer. But anyway, I gotta go. I gotta stop looking at the comments. Yes, okay, Betty, shoot me a message. But I gotta dip like a chip. I gotta get out of here. If you didn't get a chance and you didn't get my stuff, I need 3 more of me. I bet you do, Sugar Bear. I bet you do. All right, we're gonna peace. We're gonna grease. I'll catch you on the flip. Adios.